Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Greetings, nerds. This is Scene and Nerd. I'm your host, Sarah Belmont.
I'm the producer, Will Pope.
And we talk. What do we talk about, Will? We talk about things, right?
Yes, we are a weekly podcast that talks about superhero and genre-related shows. We also talk about non-superhero shows and the latest in entertainment news.
We rant about TV. We rave about movies. And we do some reviewing, but we're not overly critical. But we're also pretty honest and blunt when writers and showrunners and producers get in their own way.
Exactly. So give us a listen wherever you get your podcast, or go to our website, www.sceneandnerdpodcast.com.
Yeah, good night. Geek out.
You're welcome.
Welcome to a very special episode of Much to Do About Nothing. Some may say much to do about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had to scrap our GVN sports show for tonight, veer it into talking about Warner Brothers.
MLB trade deadline be damned.
Yes, everything be damned. Okay, all right. There was a lot of sports to talk about too that I was excited for, but Warner Brothers said, let me fuck up a random Tuesday afternoon for you guys. And they did just that. They invoked chaos. So we had to assemble our very own Justice League to try to help ease a lot of the people's, frustrations and concerns, okay?
Or cause more chaos. One of the two.
Only you and Trayvon are here for that. That's us trying to make more sense out of things.
Not sure
but
why
we have I'll never understand it either, but we'll get into that. We will definitely get into that. All right, before we jump into it, I want to announce our panel, starting off with Didge. What's going on, Didge?
Not much. I was originally ready to talk some sports, but let's get into this.
Yeah, yep. I had to shut sports completely out of my life for the last 3 hours. like, just get it out of here. Just get it out of here. Just get it out of here. My focus is on one thing. Warner Brothers fuck up. Next up, the person who would have you think he's against Warner Brothers, but he tends to forget that the show in his name is Warner Brothers. What's up, AJ?
Did you call my name? You
I definitely said AJ.
You froze for a second. You froze for a second.
No,
I
did not.
Great. I am doing great. I am loving all the chaos that's happening right now on Twitter. It's a great day to be me. That's all I'll say. It's a great day to be me.
Yeah, look, I do appreciate how happy AJ and Trayvon are until we hear the House of Dragons is scrapped, and so is Static Shock. Then we'll see true chaos.
That's never going to happen. Never
okay,
gonna happen.
Me and Joel said this about Batgirl literally yesterday.
House of Dragons, I agree with.
Look,
That's
all
never
you
going to happen.
guys can say is I'm the fortune teller right now. That's all I have to say. I am the fortune teller.
AJ, you did not predict it. You willed it.
Fortune.
You wanted it so bad.
Like
you willed it. You wanted it so bad. You just spoke it, right? And it just happened to happen.
And it happens.
All right. Okay.
They only
Anyway.
got one movie so far. And when they take everything out, then come back and tell us how right you were.
I'm just saying, you and Trayvon trying to get
pretty sure I predicted
trying
the
to
CW
celebrate.
Stuff too, but okay.
AJ,
When, like 20
you
years
don't
ago?
watch it.
It still
You
happens.
literally said every
It
year.
still happens.
You and Trayvon said every year that I knew you, CW is going to cancel. CW is going to get. You just kept saying it till it happened.
It did.
That's not predictable.
I didn't know that was
AJ.
up for question. I thought everybody knew the CW was on the chopping block.
Look, Flash even just got canceled after what, the 9th season?
9 seasons.
Look at me.
9 seasons.
Look at me.
Shortened order too.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
Arrow was
Joel,
too.
by the way, By the way, Joel, we could not give people props for that as if Flash had one season.
I know.
And then they were like, get it the fuck out of here. It had 9 seasons. Like, 9.
I mean, I'll admit I was wrong on the Flash. It was after like season 4. I was like, well, that's about it for that.
I will say AJ for the Geek realm is Max Kellerman. He just feels like the more I say it, one day it'll happen, and you will all have
And
to
it
praise
does.
me for it.
And it
Oh,
does.
is he the,
Fortune
is that going to
teller.
be his Brady?
Look, it might be 20 years
Yes,
down the line.
yes,
It
yes.
might be
You
20
can't say a
years
show
down
is
the
going to
line,
be
but it
canceled because all shows will eventually find a way to end.
It happened.
Right, find a way to end.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't. That's not calling anything.
Look, Better Call Saul. That shit's ending, right? That shit's ending. It's over, right? That's it.
Falling
Not
in there.
Nostradamus out here,
Flip the
right?
coin.
No, but
House of Dragons. It's gonna end. You know that. Right?
it is.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm
you know
calling
what?
right now.
Time out, AJ. I can even be very precise.
It might
in
have
being
not have
psychic.
9 seasons.
Hold on, you ready for this, Joel? We even know how House of Dragons will end.
That
it
is
was
true.
said in Game of Thrones.
That is
right?
true. It
So
does.
AJ, if I said it today,
It's
you
not
know,
a
when
prediction
House
if it's already been told.
no,
It's not your
but
prediction. It's already been told.
but it could be the theory of what else could happen, right? Right?
No,
Right?
it's not. It's not. You
loving the
just said
chaos.
it already happened in the show.
Anyway,
So you can't
anyway,
predict it. It already happened.
you can't predict shit about the CW when you don't watch it.
I
Anyway,
even though I already did.
Joe,
So, right.
what's going on, Pro Physical Media? What's going on? Next up, Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's in a good mood.
Great.
I just
move.
realized
Thank you for asking.
I like the Batman hat. That's very
Oh, thank
thematic.
I would update that hat, by the way.
I would love to.
That
I just
hat
have not
Robert
had a
Pattinson.
chance to, but it's still old reliable.
I mean, till we're told it's not.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
welcoming back, Will. You there, Will?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just out and about, but wanted to join the festivities. So thanks for having me back. And yeah, we were just talking about streaming services and money last night.
Yeah.
Yep.
I missed
and
that.
then
What?
and then somehow Warner heard us and said, "Well, wait a minute, they might be
Yeah.
spending some shit." It's like
yeah. Let's get this tax write-off that so we can recoup our losses.
Hey,
We can recoup
all
our money,
about
baby.
the business, man.
Unfortunately,
all about the
Warner Brothers listened to our episode yesterday and listened to the wrong person. They listened to Trayvon. I don't know why they did that. Like, they listened to him
They're
over
taking
everybody
notes.
else.
Like, yeah. I like what this guy's saying.
Yeah, I'm like,
He's making perfect sense. But yeah, thanks for having me. This is fun.
absolutely will. Absolutely. We're going to jump right into it. But Trayvon was saying how he believes all this will make its way out and it'll bring back what he wants, which is the good old days. He wants to make America Zach again. That's what Trayvon's campaigning. So he feels as though this is the open door for him to walk right through
This
it.
is
They're
when
not
now
bringing
Ben will
back
take
Zach.
over.
Hey, he can get that out of his head right now.
Yeah, and Ben will
Not
now
now.
return.
AJ,
and-
unfortunately, just like you're riding high about this movie being canceled, so you think everything will burn, he believes this being canceled.
I'm more so on the
leaves
right
the door
side. though.
open.
I'm more
No,
so
I
on the
get you.
right.
I get you. I know you're not on the side of Zach, but the logic is the same. You believe this is step one of many of things to come.
And it's been
He
happening.
believes-
It's been
But
happening.
he believes the same thing,
Yes,
just for the
sir.
other side. So that's the problem.
That's a
You both
weird
believe. That's what I'm
dynamic.
saying. You're both far left and far right. Neither one of you are working anywhere into the
Well, it is what it is.
Not that
So
working
wait,
in the
are
middle
we
is
the
supposed
are
to
we
suck.
the middle? Like, is that what it is?
I assume we're in the middle because one side's like everything's burning, the other side's like Back to the Future, and we're just like, well, there is a way to chart forward, right? Like there's,
All right,
just
fair.
there's an aggressive way to
Yeah,
chart
yeah.
forward. Like,
That's a logical way to go forward.
I'm on whatever side is just like, man, things are wild. Like I told my brother, I'm like, man, it has to be wild working for WB. Just
Look.
to come in every day and be like, what's new? Just,
Look, things are going to get ugly before they become nice again. So y'all might as well just
That's
prepare
true.
yourselves. Just
no, but
saying.
I think the thing is though, AJ, I don't think any of us are against it rebooting. We're just saying that doesn't have to be your immediate first thing you look to do.
Yes, it does.
See if you could salvage it, and if you can't, then burn it all
What?
down.
I'll go back to my two analogies that we were talking about on the Twitter thingy a long time ago. First off, you should just rip the Band-Aid off. Of course, it's going to hurt at first. People are going to get mad, of course. But down the line, ain't nobody going to remember this, especially if the new stuff is going to be good. So
you're saying cancel.
Amen.
You're saying cancel this, Flash, Aquaman, everything?
Look, I'll be a realist here. I'm not.
It's going to go the way of one. It's going to go the way of.
Flash. No, go ahead.
What'd you say, Will?
You're right. Nobody's going to remember this. I mean, how many people remember Wonder Twins, right?
Exactly.
Well, no. AJ was referring to no one would remember if we burn this all down. And
well, I wouldn't say remember. I would say people would just think about all the good things that's happening now.
I mean, look, as much as I want to agree with you, AJ, I just watched the fandom get a 4-hour movie and 2 Oscars, right? Or fake Oscars, whatever those things were. So clearly there is a fan base that begs to differ. They
of
still
course,
don't
it's going to be a select few. Of course, it's going to be a
select few.
A select few. Do you mean cancel Flash, Aquaman, Black Adam, like everything?
Look, I'm gonna be a realist here. I don't think they're gonna cancel it. The Flash is safe. That's safe. Aquaman 2 is safe. What was the other one?
Black Adam, we know it's safe. The Rock will destroy WB.
But the question is Black Adam going to get a sequel? I don't think so. Is Aquaman going to get its own trilogy? I do not think so.
Well, to be fair, Black Adam shouldn't have this movie. So I think everybody's like, well, maybe he shouldn't have a sequel. Like, this is maybe one too many.
Well,
but like I said, I am just very much of, if you want to cancel things, if you want to stop things, you should have to put your name. Like, what do we always say, Dig and Joel, when we talk about sports? There should be no such thing as an anonymous scout, an anonymous GM. If you feel ballsy enough to say it, put your name to it, right? So I'm like, if you're Warner Brothers, we shouldn't have had to find this out through the fucking New York Post. Like, why was that how we found out about this? You should have come out and said, you know what? We decided we wanted to go a different route. We're completely trashing it. We'll let you know more details as we can going forward, right?
To be fair, they might have thought about that for this Thursday when their incoming call or something like that was going to happen, and it just leaked out, and then Hollywood Reporter started to talk about it and went straight down the line. So that could have been the plan, but ultimately it wasn't what happened.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I'm not giving them the benefit of that doubt. The only thing that could happen with Flash.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen either.
Yeah.
It's very unrealistic, unfortunately.
All I care is ditching troublemakers, Amber and Ezra. Well, I don't think you guys have to worry about that.
Well, Ezra is already out. He's done.
Done as done possibly gets.
Yeah, there's no future Ezra.
I don't think there's any future for Amber. So that's something we just don't have to worry about going forward. They're gone. That situation's been rectified.
Either watch the movie or don't. Other than
that's
that,
really it.
You don't have to worry about them anymore.
True.
If AJ has his way, the movies won't even matter. So you don't even have to do that.
I would worry. And look, if I had my way, they would have been gone.
Goodness gracious. All right, Dig, I'm going to start off with you, man. You heard this news, right? There was like 5 seconds where the whole world was just like, New York Post, who even knows what the fuck that is? Like, they're full of shit. And then, like, you start seeing more people talking about it, and you're like, oh, it is canceled. Ain't that something? What were your initial thoughts to hearing that Batgirl was canned?
So I didn't see the New York Post one first. The first one I had saw was, I think it was Comic Book Resources. So when I had saw it from them, I was like, oh well, they're usually legit. Let me go look into this. And look more and more, and afterwards, like I said, the first thing I thought after I confirmed it, I texted my brother like, WB is the wildest place to work for, because it seems like when news happens, it's not little things. It's always just, we're going to shake shit up. So it was, again, they shook shit up, and I'm confused because the very least you could have did was just thrown it on HBO Max. It's, you're not worrying about distribution deals. The film is pretty much already done. 90 million is sunk into it, whether it's a tax write-off, whether it's whatever. The very least you can do is go, well, We'll throw it on our streaming service that we already own. Maybe we get, a million or so people who want to see this so badly that they subscribe for another month. We made something off of it. But
Nothing actually. But
well, if you get a million people who specifically say I'm subscribed to extra month because I want to see this, that's 15 million.
People who already subscribed are already subscribed, especially with DC content. They're already.
I give you that. But
no, Didge makes a fair point. Remember, this didn't have a date,
right?
So if you only watch HBO Max for DC content,
it's one more month of DC content that you want to see.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that just adds into another month that maybe something wasn't coming out for that you're like, I'm not gonna pay for that month. Now, fuck it, I'll pay for that month to see Batgirl.
Yeah,
so I do get where you're coming from. They don't release DC content on there
every day
rapidly enough for me to go, well, yeah, I would just have it for every other month. Like they don't do that. So it's like here, then wait, then here, then wait. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can see somebody by, let's say, September of next year. There hasn't been any DC content. I stopped subscribing. Then they hear, oh, Batgirl comes out September 21st next year. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll subscribe for that. So, again, I could see that. I could definitely see that, Ditch. I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, it's that. And, I mean, I'm sure there are whatever reasons that they felt they didn't even need to go that route. I know that I saw something about them saying it underperformed in test screenings or whatever. But it's like, movies underperform in test screenings a lot, and they still get released. So that couldn't have been your reasoning. That's just your scapegoat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And look, me and Joel talked about it before when we were trying to calm each other down hours ago. New Mutants.
Perfect example.
New Mutants, Kevin Feige, once he took over Fox, easily could have said, well, I put no money into this. These weren't my castings. It's not canon. Throw it in the fucking garbage, right? He didn't. He still let it come out, right?
And I still let it come out. But again, another thing that performed horribly in test screenings.
Right. And not only that, it felt like it took 16 years to even fucking come out.
Yeah.
The only difference that is Marvel is already super successful regardless. DC is already in the iffy situation as is. So
No, but we're saying it doesn't make you look better that a movie that you put 90 million into, you throw in the garbage, as opposed to just releasing it. If you release it and it's bad, it doesn't put you any worse than you just not showing it at all. Right? Because then it's like, okay, so if you release it and it's bad and people are like, oh, that was the worst thing ever. That doesn't give them any more confidence that you just don't show it at all.
Yeah, because
they're like, well, why the fuck did you let it get to this point?
Yeah. It was
so that's all I'm saying. The bad press will be there regardless. There was no escaping the bad press of it. That's why I'm like, just fucking put it out. Because those people worked their asses off to make that movie. So
well,
for them,
got paid, so
they definitely still got paid, but it's the art form, bro. You want to see
the art form. It's the art form, man. It's really the art form. It really, truly is the art form. I don't think you'll find anybody that does work that does it, and it's like, well, you got paid. That's passionate about what they do. You got paid, but we're never putting that album out. What the fuck? I put my heart into this shit. Drop it. You know what I'm saying? If it underperforms, fuck it, but drop it. So to me, like I said, I'm with you, Didge, on how do you not just drop it on HBO Max, or even do this? Do a limited theater release, right? A limited theater release, and then put it on HBO Max, and then just be done. Right? Yeah, just be done. That's my biggest issue. And then where I agree with you that they're definitely using that as a scapegoat. We hear a report that they're saying they still want to work with Leslie Grace and the director. Well, you just did. like there is no. Well, we'd like to work again. Well, you just did, and you're essentially shitting on.
Yeah, what gives her the confidence of wanting to do business with you again? If I just put all my time and effort, who's to say she didn't pass on something else, whatever? And I put my time and effort to do this movie with you. You canceled it. And I'm supposed to trust that you want to work with me again. How do I know it doesn't get to that point again? And you're like, well, we're going to cancel it. Like,
and not only that, this was, I didn't see whatever movie she was in, right? So this was going to be my first time seeing her.
I think she was in Into the Heights. Isn't that
I never saw it.
I didn't see it either.
This was going to be my first time seeing her, right? So I was very excited to see what the hype was about. You know, because to me, my mindset's always, if they got this role, they must have really done an amazing job in either their last project or their audition. I want to see what they bring to this that was so uniquely special that they got it. So I was very much looking forward to that. So it's just it's one of those things where it's like it's just very unfortunate. It really truly is. It really truly is.
Yeah, I'm looking at her filmography. This is her second. This is her second film.
Second film, yeah.
Yeah.
So to what
That is
Juwan was saying earlier, at that point, I don't know how much she's caring about getting paid. She's probably looking at it as my second film ever. This is definitely bigger than In the Heights. Didn't get released,
And I got to work with Michael Keaton and J.K. Simmons. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? A lot of that was like, I
Yeah.
can't wait for people to see like how I was next to those two giants.
in
you
a
know what I'm
comic
saying?
industry where you're like, these movies rarely fail. So
Right.
you're like,
Yes, right.
That is true, yeah.
Right. And again, you had a lot of formula in that movie that just you had people seeing that movie just to see if Nightwing showed up.
Right.
You had people watching that movie just to see Michael Keaton again. You had people watching that movie just to see yes, absolutely. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
You had people watching just to see how this all connects now to the new world the Flash movie set up,
Yeah.
right? So there were so many different things that people were looking forward to when it came to this movie, you know? And again, we might see Babs in the future. We might. I just don't know if it's a guarantee it's her. And that's where it's the most unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's just like, well, damn, that kind of fucking sucks. The AJ, this is apparently your crowning moment. So we will give you the floor. Your thoughts when you heard that this got canned.
Well, I understand where you guys are coming from, and it does suck for everybody involved. It does
I
suck.
love the Oracle. I'm sorry. I love this
What?
banner.
what?
What happened?
The bat is dead. Consider this.
The bad.
Fucking Mike is awesome. But I'm sorry, AJ. Go ahead.
Anyway, like I said, I do agree with you guys on that end, but there's so much other stuff that gets involved with the tax stuff, and there's so much information that keeps coming and coming that it just all gets muddled in together, if that makes sense, and it just makes things so confusing to understand what's going on with the film itself and the reason why it got canceled specifically.
Right.
But my thing is, we are getting this call Thursday to get more information. Will it be some of it be about this? Maybe, maybe not. They might just completely ignore DC altogether. We never know. But for me personally, I always said that they just need to scrap everything to begin with. And that's what they're doing. I'm happy that they're doing it, but it does suck for the crew, cast, everybody that was involved, especially since this is the only film this is basically the only film that's like finished basically everything. And then it just said, let's just throw it away, basically. It's basically the one film in film history that's ever been done. So that on its own is
Shocking.
yeah, basically. So my personal feelings on it, I'm happy that they're trying to move away from Zack Snyder's DCEU in general and start anew. Quote unquote, I'll just say quote unquote because we don't know what's actually going on with all that. But that's that. And then the business side of it is just it's too confusing to actually like get into deeply because everything is just completely muddled. So that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah, I made this analogy earlier. I was saying, like, could you picture someone just tore down a development, right? Like where people lived, and you're like, oh, you're gonna put up like shopping malls or like, you know, new housing or something, and they're like, oh no, I didn't really think that far. I just, you know, decided I just want to tear it down. What? Why? You couldn't just wait maybe like a few more months for these people to live here before just tearing it down? Nah, we just thought, you know, why wait? To me, that makes no sense. Put some kind of logic next to it. That's why I'm saying if they are doing this call, and yeah, they did axe the Scooby-Doo sequel also. But to me, if you are going to do this call, there's no fucking way you could do this call and not explain two massive things. This and whether or not there's a fandom. To me, those are the two biggest things that need to be a part of that call. when it comes to DC. The
They
two
better
biggest.
They definitely need to speak on it. They definitely do.
They
Because
have
to
to
me, not speaking on it, again, you don't have that. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have that with your audience that we're just like,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck it. We'll wait. They'll figure it out. We'll wait. They'll give us something
Yeah, give
really
us
good.
some sort of confidence.
Yeah,
We haven't
patience.
had any in a while.
Yeah. So to me,
Fair.
you don't have that. You know,
You
you
have
just
goodwill
really
right now.
don't. None. Literally none. And the little bit of goodwill you could have is acknowledging fandom this year, and you still haven't, right? And now it seems more and more like you maybe won't. You're just losing all this goodwill. You just are. There's nothing happening right now that we're just like, okay, yeah, okay, I see where you're going. Nothing.
Yeah.
You got us ending the year, and again, this is nothing against the team that put these movies together. It's more so the characters. But you're ending our year on Black Adam and Shazam. Albeit, most of my argument is that shit could have been in one movie. But
Yeah.
besides that, like, you
But
moved Aquaman and Flash completely out of the year and left us with Black Adam and Shazam?
even those movies don't inspire confidence because in questioning of will Black Adam ever meet Shazam, it's no comment. I don't know.
Also,
So that doesn't give you any confidence.
yeah, really, that's fucking weird. That's
Right.
why.
Could you guys picture if Kevin Feige came out at D23 and announced Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, and Xavier, and you're like, okay, and then we're like, all right, so when are we getting an X-Men movie? Oh, I don't know if you'll ever see these characters actually come together, but you know they'll be here. I
Right.
don't know if they interact. It's like, well, why would you even introduce them if they're not interacting? Like that's your goal, right? That's the end goal. That's not the end goal. I don't really need them as some, right? I need the whole. I don't need them as sums.
What is
Need the
the
whole.
goal here? Yeah. What is the point?
Like, yeah, you guys ready for this Reed Richards movie? You mean Fantastic Four?
No.
we thought we'd
Reed
just
Richards.
give you
We're going to
just
talk about
Reed.
his college days. Like,
Just Reed.
What are we
That's it.
doing?
So to me, I kind of just, again, I'm like, the problem is people already don't believe in Warner Brothers, and then they do things like this, and then it justifies people's thoughts on Warner Brothers. And it might be unfair, but again, it's hard to defend because it's like, I don't logically know where you're going. If we get a DC fandom, what do you want them to say? Just good shit.
Give me a plan.
Like,
Literally,
inspire
all I want is a
confidence. Inspire confidence. That's
I already have said. I already told you earlier. I don't know if I want a fandom right now because I don't know if they know what the fuck they want to do going forward.
Well, if they greenlight a fandom, I assume it's with all the confidence in the world to stay on schedule with whatever they announce at fandom. But if you release it and then you axe the shit, then I'm with you. Don't release a fandom. But if you do release it, I assume it's because you have faith in what you're about to release.
Well,
going forward.
fandom easily would have had Aquaman trailer, a new Flash trailer, a Blue
a
Beetle
Batgirl trailer, a
It would have
Batgirl
had a
trailer,
Batgirl trailer,
right?
Blue Beetle
A
trailer.
Titans trailer.
I mean, do we think Blue Beetle is
Obviously.
actually still coming?
No,
Right.
no, no. Because here's the problem: if you were saying, and again, we may not believe their reasoning, but if you were saying you essentially canned Batgirl because you had no confidence in it, I can tell you right now, the world. If you think the world barely cares or knows about Barbara Gordon, it's even less for Jaime and Blue Beetle. Even less. So I'm like, how do you think that'll fare any better? And for Trayvon, who's not here, how do you think that fares for Virgil any better? If
Yeah.
people don't
That
care
does
or
suck with
know about
Trayvon.
Batgirl,
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
like I said earlier when you were saying that House of Dragon and Static may get canceled. House of Dragon, we know for sure. Static, it's looking rough. Like it's
it
just
is.
I don't.
This is if we do get DC fandom. This is what I want. I don't even care if you get any releases or anything like that. All I want them is to talk about their state of mind within the DC as a fan.
Do you want
Fan-
to do DC
as
State
a
of Play?
fan is what I want.
DC State of
DC
Play.
State of Play? You want DC State of Play?
I'm thinking about PlayStation right now. You know me. I have a lot of things
I
going
know.
on my mind.
I know,
Anyway.
AJ. I know you. I know you.
I need them. I need them to talk on that. I also need to give us at least doesn't have to be huge, but a general direction on where you're trying to go. It doesn't even need to be like where you're specifically going now.
Yeah.
Just give us
A
not
plan.
a blueprint.
Yeah.
Give us
What is
just
your
give
game
us a
plan?
little. Just a
even
little
if
something.
They have. No, I'm sorry, Ditch. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, even if it is something how Kevin Feige did the phase 4, phase 5, phase 6 thing, that it was literally just announcements. It's, hey, this is how we're starting. This is where we're going. This is where we hope it ends up. That's something more than what we have now. And it won't give you the most confidence, but you will be more confident that, hey, we're not just attaching ourselves to a sinking ship.
I mean, for me, it's just the concept. No, go ahead, Will. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah. But the thing is, part of the problem if they do have a fandom, and I think I think you're right as far as wanting to have a plan, but there's no like figurehead signature overarching. I mean, I know there's hired Alan Horn, who I think who shepherds some of the Marvel things in the early part of the MCU, but there's no there's no fill in blank exec like Kevin Feige that can lay out the grand plan for DC right now, because
That's
clearly
perfect.
the IP is in major flux right now. So I think Zaslav is just basically coming in and clearing the books and giving whoever the new creative is the freedom to build and establish their new universe. So it would not surprise me at all, given the way things are at this point, and given how close we are already in the fall, that we don't have a fandom this year. I mean, it's kind of late to be announcing something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
what
I
you're
was saying I don't think it's too late because it's a virtual event, right? So like if
But
it
even
comes
if
out
a
in
virtual
October,
event, you
release
gotta
it in September.
but then you have Comic-Con, you have other things, and plus, I mean, again, what IP are they going to really hype? I mean, we know
that's different. I agree with that. That's different. But because it's virtual, you could slap it out at any point, is what I'm saying. Like, you could just release on HBO Max one day, right? Like, if you wanted to, or online, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, that I believe you have all the time in the world. Like, unless we're in October, I feel as though there's time for it to be announced. But it's just seeming more and more like whatever this new regime is, they don't have interest in things like that. That's just what it looks like. I'm not saying that's what it is. It's just what it looks like. Because last year I felt like we already knew fandom was going to happen. Year before we knew fandom was going to happen. Now it's kind of just like, you pick now where things are the most unsure to not do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're usually on top of their shit. Like the last 2 years, they've been on top of their shit. They had a whole fandom. We didn't have to wait. Like Marvel, like they made us wait a lot last year. And they delivered this year. And DC was very safe. There's a reason they didn't give us any future anything.
Yep.
Because they're still planning. You know what I mean?
But you guys are still saying, basing all this off of that this is the previous regime though. This is a whole new. This is just
no, but
this
that's why I
basically just
said
started this year.
That's why I said I believe this new regime has no interest in a fandom. That's why I think it hasn't been announced yet.
I don't
That's
know
all
if
I'm
it's and it may not have an interest. It's just, I mean, they just acquired a company just a few months ago.
Yeah.
So, and they've been clearing out executives as far as, Jason McKillar and others. So I think this is just a transition period with Warner. So
then if that's the case, then I have a massive issue with not just coming out and saying, hey, it's a transition period. We don't want to do fandom this year.
Well,
Saying
but then there was also Comic-Con. They were there. So, I mean, it would have been better for them to say, we're going to be at DC Comic-Con. We're not going to do DC fandom this year. But, yes, that probably would have been a better messaging thing to do. I grant that. But at the same time, it's just going to be a big shit show at this point if they just try to haphazardly throw something together to make and as you rightly said, people are already do not trust and have a lack of faith in Warner. I mean, they're they're one-offs like the Joker and other things, and Peacemaker do great, but overall, I mean, as far as in this genre right now, Warner is still a butt of jokes. So
yeah, but I think my bigger issue is we started hearing announcements of shows happening in the future. This new regime has already been here. That Amanda Waller news is new, right?
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn was just talking about Peacemaker. So I'm like, there's still news that's coming out. So clearly the new regime is allowing this news to come out.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
this
but I
news
mean,
is coming out, you do
yeah,
have
but there's
things
nothing.
you can
I
talk
mean,
about.
you could have news come out, but there's no like trailers or nothing. Things have to be in production. I mean, Peacemaker 2, have they even started season 2 production yet? They may be in pre-production.
Well,
We got
that's
the
the
news
thing.
that's Comic-Con about Amanda Waller and Black Adam, which was great big. 'Cause, I mean, I don't recall hearing about her being cast before that. But again, to like sustain, you know, an event like a comic, like a fandom, where it doesn't just become like to dumb on Netflix. You got to have something to show. Otherwise, it's just. I mean, we all are like fatigued from like looking at a screen for like the last 2 years with just things with just still shots of just like, oh, you could have just done that like in a tweet release or something.
Well, my
Well,
issue with that
question.
is fandom, really quickly, AJ, fandom is more than just footage, right? You could go there and literally say, hey, this is what we want to do. It could be like AJ said, a State of the Union, right? Where you're coming up there and you're issuing a renewed vow of confidence for
So
what
would you
you
have
want
that?
to do.
So you would have Zaslav do that. So is that who would
1,000%.
deliver?
Well,
Zaslav-
no. I would have somebody do that. Who that is?
Zaslav
I don't know.
apparently still wants someone to be like their fight. He still, as far as we know, that's what he's looking for.
That's what he's
announced
working
that
on right
Thursday.
now.
And that's what
Right.
he talked
So
about. I
to
think with
me-
the big announcement,
That
I
would
think
be a
the
big
initial
announcement.
investor day.
Again, to me,
That'd
I
actually be the
just
start.
want them to do a State of the Union. And again, you can have something like a State of the Union where you're addressing the fans, right? Telling them what they can expect going forward, and then just release footage of things that are already done. That's it. You tell people, hey, I don't have a whole bunch of movie announcements and crazy stuff for you yet, but I want to kind of let you know what's happening with DC going forward. Right? And here's a few things we can show you and tell you about, right? Like, we can show you Aquaman trailer. We can show you the Flash trailer, right? We can show you Blue Beetle trailer. We can do these things, right? And then essentially that's it. Because remember, fandom is a massive event. There were comic stuff that they were doing there. So it's not just what you're doing in movies and television or animation. Right. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do, but it should be utilized to address the people and just restore some kind of confidence so we know that there is a plan. Because right now, when you just act shit and say nothing, that's not a plan. That's not a plan at all. And I don't have faith in you enough to say, well, there will be one.
And it's not only just the movie stuff. Because, I mean, we still know Doom Patrol is technically still going.
Right.
Titans is technically still going. Superman and Lois, Stargirl. Right. Pennyworth, I think, is still going.
Yeah, Pennyworth.
Yeah. I mean, there's IP that's out there. I mean, I know Titans is coming in the fall. I mean, so. I mean,
there's a lot that they could do for sure.
There are things they can do. It's just, it just seems that they had a golden opportunity this past, 2 weeks ago to do a lot of that, and really reintroduce themselves at DC Comic-Con, SDCC Comic-Con, because it was a critical mass event. It was a lot of energy. People are just excited to have that event in person again. And that was the big opportunity to do something like that, and they whiffed.
But to
they weren't ready yet.
To me, I have no issues with the company saying, "Hey, we have something that's our own, right? And if we're going to do something that massive, like a State of the Union, to kind of get people on board to what we're doing, we want to do it at our thing, right? So we'll show the things that come out this year, right? That we want to really kind of get the conversation going about in Black Adam and Shazam." And in our own personal event, that's when we'll do the whatever the case may be. That's when we do the State of the Union, or we announce what's coming up, or what we're doing, or whatever the case may be. I have no problem with the company doing that. Now, if there was never a fandom, I'd be with you. Well, you don't just skip San Diego Comic-Con if there's nothing else you have, right? But knowing that they could do, not will, but could do a fandom, I have no issues with you wanting to control the environment of how you release this information. I have absolutely no problem with that.
Well, my issue is that since they're still looking for a Kevin Feige to shepherd this new era of DCEU, I'm pretty sure they don't want to plan anything until they get that top dog, like a Kevin Feige. So for them to not have a plan for a few months going in now makes sense to me, because they still don't have anybody to like actually put in a plan and stick with that plan.
They
have
probably
nobody.
have plans,
And that's their first step to do that.
but they don't have, like what AJ is saying. They don't have the architect yet. They're still
Exactly, and that's what they're working on
hire.
right now. They're still on step one. That's why we haven't gotten anything from San Diego Comic-Con. Well, we only got the things that's already done, basically, which is Black Adam and Shazam, which is waiting for that to come out.
That's why.
So them having the DC fandom right now, I still don't see it coming out now, because we don't have that. Well, I would say to have like stuff for live action films right now, because we still don't have that top dog like a Kevin Feige within that role, especially since Zaslav said he wants to focus on getting that person into that role. So for them not to have a plan makes sense to me right now.
Then you know what? If I conform to what you and Will are saying, I just say this. Whenever you choose your person, just know whenever you make your announcements, has to be nothing but home runs.
For sure. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. None. Because people are coming out and they're expecting you to turn water to wine, right? That's what they're looking for.
That's what you need to do. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So again, no problem. You don't want to do it this year. No problem whatsoever. But just know,
I feel sorry for whoever has to take that role.
Yeah, it's
honestly, I honestly don't, because to me, if you take that, it means you're taking it with a sense of passion, right? Like you want to do this job.
Passion and confidence.
That's what scares me. Because I hope they hire someone that does have that passion, that understands and cares for these characters. That's going to come into it knowing I have to rebuild this universe, and I'm the guy for it. Because trust me, I'm that guy.
And here's the thing, Joel. Me and you have been saying this for a few years now. The reason why, if you're that person to take that job, there shouldn't be a level of feeling sorry for that person. Here's why. You have the easiest fucking IP in the history of IPs. You have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Right? Those are like the easiest base hits a person could have, right? Yeah. You just released the three of them. That's the greatest way to start. And then you just got to work from there.
Also,
right? So it's like it's easy.
Also, they just brought in Bob Iger into Warner Brothers as well. So
they might still got him. They still got him.
Alan.
Yeah, I was about to say I thought it was Alan, because they still got Bob Iger all there.
Yeah,
they still got Bob on all their Disney stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I don't know.
Wow, that's a big gap.
I was gonna say like.
Yeah, somewhere Bob Iger.
That's still a good thing, because he's a great producer. So
yeah, I mean,
he was on that team.
He was a
can
big
help
part
smooth things over with Zaslav and all that, and help them plan even further down the line with DC, not just DC, but DC movies in general and all of that, because he has a great track record, and Zaslav has a great track record.
But I do want to say this really quickly before we move on. I do want to say the reason why, AJ, I was very much in the middle of what you were thinking is because I kind of feel like if you explode everything, right, it's very easy to start from scratch, right? It just is. You just have to be willing to take the lumps that come with it, but you can start right from scratch. But also the plan that the last regime had, right, to a degree, right, where you're saying, okay, Michael Keaton's coming in, an older Batman. He's still active, but not as much, right? He's doing other things. Batgirl's coming in. Nightwing's coming in. Michael Keaton's 3 movies have been cut to 1. Yeah. If you're Michael Keaton, it's been tough. You had to be inside of Morbius.
Today is not been the day.
But no, so their original plan, right, to where it's like, okay, Barbara Gordon, Supergirl, Nightwing, you're bringing in all these other characters. When the new regime came in and said, no, we're definitely doing something with Superman, that was already starting to fix the problem there, right? We were talking about a month ago. The only issue you have now is you just got to boot Ezra out, right? Reboot just not the Flash as a franchise, just the actor, right? And then you could get back to business as usual. Just start doing more things that make sense. But now that you're starting to cut these things, it's like, well, where are we now? Are we in a full reboot?
But Zaslav already been on record that he's saying that he doesn't like where the DCEU was going to begin with. So
That's fair. None of us did. But unless you come out and say that you're burning it all to the ground, I'm expecting business as usual.
But he did say that. He did say that, and he's acting on it at the same time.
No
He is
arguments
acting on
there. But to me, unless you give us an announcement of what you plan to do, I'm looking at this as possibly just a one-off, right? Like you're just canceling this, so you cancel everything.
On the surface, him coming in and saying, the Wonder Twins, what the fuck is that? Cutting that. And then you going, Batgirl, why? And then eventually cutting that while it's done at this point. It's done and they cut it. This man obviously does not care. So it's like, look, I don't like what they were doing. I'm like, why is Superman on the bench? I'm trying to figure that out. I love that. I mean, that sounds
that makes
good.
sense.
You know, that makes sense. Like, why? Like, I don't understand what the direction was, but it's not making money. It doesn't. I don't see money in the future for these projects. Is what he was basically saying. So that seems to be his focus too. He's like, you're spending too much money. You're wasting that.
Technically, that should be his only focus anyway.
That should be, but at the
especially
same time,
since he wants somebody else in that role for DC.
Right.
His only focus should be money.
But that's where it kind of. That's where you look at Disney and you go, you got to respect Disney for giving Feige as much of a leash as they did, because you could have made a case if you're Disney. Iron Man is what you want to fuck.
But they didn't have a choice. They didn't really have much at that time.
No. But I'm saying
Disney yet.
Oh, it wasn't Disney yet.
That's
You're
also
right.
true.
You're right. But I'm saying to start a universe with a lot of these characters that you could argue are not as recognizable, right, as a lot of the other Marvel characters. It was a risk. You had Guardians of the Galaxy. At that point, you had to say, fuck it, we're going all in here. Either people will love it or they'll hate it, right?
Yeah, after Avengers, he had carte blanche.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I'm saying if you start a new regime with a Batman movie, Superman movie, Wonder Woman movie, right? Right after that, you'll be gold. Right? You'll be gold. And at that point, you could do all kinds of crazy shit. But on the surface, if you look at things and go, well, I don't think that's going to make money. Guess what? It fucking won't make money. You have to take these chances. And to think that a movie with Michael Keaton is Batman, right? Batgirl, people do know Batgirl, right? I'm not saying she's this mega popular character, but people know Batgirl.
But the Bat brand should be enough. You know.
But I'm saying that movie spent $90 million. You're not telling me it doesn't at least recoup $250. You're not telling me it doesn't at least make $250.
Yeah, but part of the problem with Batgirl was the release strategy, because from the very get, it was going to be, and that was part of I think what Zaslav is also changing is they were sending that straight to streaming first. It wasn't going to be theatrical release.
Then they switched it.
Right.
So I think that was part of the concern too. Well, one of the concerns was, they spent $90 million, but Zaslav, when they first came in, he was like, "We want a spectacle film," and that's probably $90 million. If it gets $100 million, $200 million budgets,
they're making their money back from all the money they lost last year.
Yeah. And of course, and now because of, again, since they're trying to recoup the losses and everything, they can't now release it theatrically because if they're trying to write it off on taxes, they can't. They basically can't. So I mean, they're just kind of stuck with it. They're just basically
write it off. They can't put it on HBO Max.
I think they're Zaslav is changing the strategy. We're focusing on theatrical, not doing this stream. Not doing feature films that will be going to our streaming platform. I think they're looking at the streaming platform as doing more things like the live action TV shows like Peacemaker, Doom Patrol, etc.
But they should be focusing on more quality more than anything right now. I'm with Zaslav on here. I really do believe that what he's doing right now is the right thing to do business wise. Not talking about all the political stuff right now, but business wise, he's doing the right thing to help recruit what he lost with the merger and all of that, and getting some money back. So when he does have that Kevin Feige in place, he'll give him more options like Kevin Feige to do more things for the DCU, because Zaslav is not stupid. He understands that DC as a product.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree necessarily on surface what you're saying. I'm just saying it's very easy to say something won't make money when you don't allow it to make money. I believe if you had released Batgirl, it could have made significant money. I'm not saying it would have made $1 billion or anywhere near it,
I don't think
but it
would
could
have
have made a lot of money.
I don't think it would have made 200. I mean, I think it would have been a loss.
What?
No,
did.
I'll disagree with that.
What?
Batgirl,
Well, I think it would. I don't
To be
think.
fair, it doesn't matter what we think. It only matters what Zaslav think. If he doesn't have faith in the product, then what sense does it make for him to send it out if he doesn't have
Because
any faith
I'm
in it?
saying, AJ, if I said right now, AJ can't podcast, but I never let you podcast, I'll always look like a fucking genius. Why? Because I never put a microphone in front of you.
That's
Let's
fine.
put a
but if
microphone
you're
in front of you
look,
first and see what we get from it.
yeah.
And to say that a bat product could not make money is the most insane thing to say. If you told me Wonder Twins could make money, no argument. But there's no way you're telling me in a world where Shazam made money, that Batgirl can't make any money.
Well, I'm not okay.
What are
Maybe
we
it will make $1
talking?
billion, but I think will it make
Oh, no,
500?
definitely not
Maybe.
make
I don't
$1
know. But like I said, I
But
think
Will, I
No
didn't
one
even
knows.
go that high. I said 250. 250.
And already at 250,
I said
it's
250.
over your budget. Like
That's what I'm
that means you make
saying.
money. Like,
That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. I just said a reasonable 250. I didn't say 100 billion. I didn't say anything crazy. I just
Yeah,
said 250.
it's-
That's it, 250. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So to me, I get you, AJ. If somebody that knows way more about the business says it won't work, cool. You gotta just eat it. I'm just saying it's very easy to be a genius when you say things like that, but
And
then you don't ever let it. You don't try.
But ultimately, we won't know until the future, basically.
Yeah.
Now, you're right. We won't know until it actually
Oh wait,
shows
quick
up.
question: have any of these DC movies that have been throughout the DCEU underperformed, like not covered its budget?
Suicide Squad, I think, right?
It didn't cover its budget.
That's Suicide Squad?
The James Gunn Suicide Squad, yeah.
Yeah, it's because it came out in.
Oh, it came out on HBO Max. Yeah, I don't know how much I
Other than that, then I don't think
That's
so.
not fair.
But that's all I'm saying.
Wonder
How much
Woman
did Man of Steel
1984.
make?
Man,
Yeah,
it's
so
still, hold
that's-
on, I got him up now. I can look.
It made like 500, right? But it was like a 250.
Man, it still
all
made
I'm saying.
668.
It's not bad for a movie that came out day and date.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm just saying to believe that this machine that you've
Good
built
reviews too, though.
can't make money. That is very crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
But
Joel,
I
me
feel
and you
like
were
he's
talking
going-
earlier.
he's
We
going to
thought it
say-
could make money.
Look, I would say this. He's going the safe route because I think he wants to focus on Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, the Pillar 3, basically. And he knows that those three specifically will make the most amount of money for their company. So if they want to start off with that, then I understand why they dropped Batgirl, because they want to focus on Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman for the new regime. Not
I
that.
I
don't-
that.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
No, I agree though. They are the top. They're the Trinity. You
Yeah.
start with them and you go forward. Like I said, there's always going to be we did this conversation a couple months ago, and I'm like, you start with the main characters.
Yeah.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, and Aquaman. You go from there and then you branch, right?
Right.
My problem is now they have a Batman. They have the Batman. And if you're going to build a universe, you have to figure out what you're going to do with a Batman in that universe.
Right.
And that's
Right.
very confusing. So it's like they lost Ben Affleck. He left. He chose to leave. Now, if he wants to come back and that change, then that makes a bigger issue because then it competes with the
But
Batman.
why did he leave, though? Was it because of the old regime, or was it because of
I mean, it was
No.
the old regime. It
AJ,
was 'cause,
AJ,
he was
no. No. You don't get to say, "Hey, I quit." Fuck everything up on your way out, and then go, "Well, that's just because I didn't like the boss that we had before." But like,
But
I'm
that's
wrong.
exactly what was happening.
Yeah, but the problem is where we are today. Some of it is because he left. I'm not saying it's his fault, but when he left, it shook the whole fucking balance of everything. We got a Batman
whose
sitting
fault
in a
was
far
that?
left corner.
And whose fault was that?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying, though, to come back, you're causing more problems now because that movie not only made money, it was very well received, right? So now it's like, well, if you bring Ben back, we assume he wants to be well more active than Michael Keaton, but how can he be active and create a universe while that one over there is trying to start a universe? How the fuck do you manage that?
That's the issue.
That's
That's why
the issue.
this is why I hate that the Flash is a $200 million product right now. I guarantee you, Zaslav wanted to cancel that shit from day one. Guarantee you, he wanted to do that. But
wait, actually, the
It is
last
what
thing
it
that
is.
Oracle had going at the bottom makes a lot of sense. Will creators? I know it's back to what's next for DC, but it's will creators want to work with DC?
But
Will
here's
they?
the problem with that. I think creators
Yeah.
do, but here's my problem with some of these creators who want to work with Warner Brothers. They look at it and they want the freedom that the movie that won an Oscar had and the movie that dropped in March had. And to me, there is a middle ground. No one should have that much fucking say in what you're doing with your universe to say, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even want my Batman in your universe. I want him over there. Fuck you. No, he's here. And you find a way to make it work. You find a way to make it work. That's my problem. Then you got what's his name? That's a beautiful Joker. But you allowed that guy to say, fuck you. I want to make my own Joker over here. Right? So now we have no Joker, and we have to look at a phenomenal Joker sitting right over there in the corner. These shit should be in the same fucking pot. That's my problem.
Yeah,
is
you're
that
not
you
wrong.
allowed these
And
you
that's how
allowed
it
these
started.
geniuses to come in and just branch their shit with carte blanche.
It's literally
in the middle of your
fall from
universe.
grace. He was there. He was going to direct his own movie.
Yes.
It was gonna be Batman, Ben Affleck directing it. It was too much for him emotionally, mentally, physically. He quit the directing part. He's like, I'll just act on it. Right? Well, even though I think he was done after that point, he was just being nice. It's like, I will act. And then at that point, he's like, fuck that, I'm out. And Matt was like, well, I'll cast a new one, and I want out of this universe. Because at the time, especially, it was a fucking mess anyway. You know what I mean? It's just, it started off bad, and it just got worse, like slowly. And now we're stuck in a world where we now have a separate Batman, and a very good Batman too, nonetheless. And now we have to figure out what to do with the Batman in the connected universe, which I think what they were trying to do with Keaton was a good idea. It's just, was it being executed correctly? Because at the end of the day, you probably should have just recasted him. But I thought
they were,
or not give all that power to Matt Reeves and tell him, hey, you don't have to acknowledge the DCEU, but your movie takes place in it, right? It takes place in it.
but-
Allow other things to bring it
but
together.
that's what bothered me when he's like,
I wanted to make note. I looked it up to the question of what made back its budget. The only two films in the DCEU that didn't make at least double their budget are the ones that released on HBO Max.
Makes sense.
Every other one made at least double.
So
its
it's
budget.
Wonder Woman 1984 and The
And-
Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Right.
Makes
So
sense.
again, you give it a chance. These movies, bad or good, will fucking make money.
They're making
That's
money.
all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but also, but let's be, you can put a little asterisk on some of that too, because we were stuck in a pandemic and everything was shut down. So
That's why I didn't make it.
But that's why they didn't make. That's why again, those are the only two that
Yeah,
didn't
that's
make
That's
the
why you
money
put
back.
asterisks on it.
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I'm
I
saying.
know, but I'm just saying, I get back to my point, like with the film that may not have the resources or something. I'm sorry, I got cut off. I got cut off earlier, but like I look at a Morbius or something like that, where if you don't put the adequate resources behind it, and from what I gather, there was some iffy test screenings with Batgirl as well. So if
So I've heard
there was negative buzz about that film, then we have examples of the things out there where it may not do as well because of this negative buzz or whatever. So I mean, there's no guarantees with
That
anything.
made double its budget even if we're talking.
Yes, because I was just about to say half of the DCEU is shrouded in bad publicity and still made money. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
That's
Morbius
why-
made.
Yeah, but they're like legacy characters. But they're like legacy characters too. I mean, they're the Batman, Superman.
Suicide Squad made money. David Ayer's Suicide Squad made money. Not as much money as it maybe could have made, but it made money. And that movie was.
But Batman was in it.
making
But
our
Batman
shit
was in it.
horrible. Batman was in
this.
Batgirl.
Suicide Squad made more than Man of Steel.
He's gonna be in it way
There
more
you
than he was
go.
in Suicide Squad.
Hell yeah, there you go.
got it forever.
The wrong stream.
But my point is, comic book movies in general sell. Like I said, Morbius made double its budget. Movies comic book movies in general, even with the bad publicity, any of that, comic book fans, or even people who are just remotely curious in comic book movies, especially in this era, people are going to go see them.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know the drama, like would you?
Yeah,
They
just
don't,
go
and a
in,
lot of
"Oh,
people.
this looks fun.
A lot of people don't have access to geek groups enough to know what the bad publicity or good publicity is, right?
All
They're
they
just like,
see
I
is-
know that character. I'll go see it.
Or they see the from Marvel Entertainment, from DC Entertainment.
That's all it
Right.
takes right there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, clearly, I got to go see this then.
And that's why we were saying a movie with Michael Keaton as Batman. You're not telling me
It's not.
can't
It's
get the
making
job
at
done.
least 300. I'm going higher than that. It's making at least 300.
Okay, you're right around the ballpark I was at. I was at 250. You and 300.
I know plenty of
Ballpark.
people that are excited to see Keaton's Batman again. I'm one of them. You know, like
100%.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited.
My mom texted me and was just like, "Well, Keaton's back." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh shit." She don't know nothing about nothing. It was like, I like me some Keaton. So,
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to see Keaton back as well. So I mean, I'm just to be clear, it's not that I'm not excited to see him, and I'm disappointed that this film is not going to. We're not even ever going to like ever see it now because of because they're putting it on a shelf. But
yeah, I mean, it's upsetting. It's upsetting.
Yeah,
it is. But like I said, I do think to where we were heading about what's next for DC. I do think right now, what works against you, right, is if Black Adam, Shazam, Aquaman, and Flash all come out, and not only do they make buku dollars, but they're talked about well, right? Because then if that happens, then when do you pull the fucking plug, right? Because now would be the opportune time to say these movies are still coming out because we put too much into them, right? But right after they're done, guys, they're gone. Don't get invested. They're gone.
Which
And
I
whatever
hope they
end
do.
credit scenes,
I hope they say this in this Thursday.
whatever
I
end
hope
credit
they
scenes
say
you
it.
have of these movies, pull
Doesn't
them.
matter.
No, just pull them.
I just don't see them doing that. I know they plan on having spin-offs of, like, if Black Adam does well. They're gonna have a spin-off of Black Adam.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was supposed to have a spinoff.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be. I think that's supposed to be a show. But whatever. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of those that are supposed to have spin-offs. Like, we're still waiting on everything at this point. But Warner Brothers in general is like you said, Thursday is going to be very important. I really hope that they actually say something that's like actually worth like something. Like, give us something. Maybe this leak is from that. Like, I think someone mentioned it earlier. I'm like, that would make sense, and it got out early, and they're gonna say that they're gonna drop this and they're gonna give us a reason, even though we kind of know the reason. I just don't know if I see them actually just cutting it all out, because like look at James Gunn. He's like, I have so many different like HBO Max plans. Like, his world's expanding. I don't know if they're just gonna cut him out because his shit's so connected to what we're doing now with Adam, and you know what I mean.
Here's the question: is everything he was talking about, was that greenlit as they were transitioning into the new regime, and
Or
nobody's
after?
told him yet that it's canceled? Or have they given him the? All I'm saying is, Joel, I'm with you. You know, I'm not
All I'm
of the
saying
mindset
is,
of just blowing everything up.
I'm pretty
just
sure
saying,
we don't
Go ahead.
know more than he does about his own projects.
no, not at all. But I'm saying, to me, it is possible that as the regime was changing, that was the plan, and the new regime just hasn't figured out everything yet to tell him it's not happening, or they don't want to do it. That's all I'm saying. Because to me, you're saying the possibilities are that a lot of these movies, if done well, could have spinoffs. I'm saying this movie that was just canceled was your ultimate spinoff, and you can that. So I'm like, I don't know how much faith I have in
it. It's not. It was not a spinoff because it was just kind of. It was a new character really being introduced, and you were helping being introduced with the return of Michael Keaton's Batman. The spinoffs I'm talking about, like Peacemaker, that was very popular. Let's say
I see what you're saying.
Shazam are really good. Those are going to be very popular. Say Aquaman is actually really good, like the last one.
Yeah,
you're gonna and that's it done. And same thing with the Flash. Now the Flash obviously has its own issues. But if it's really good,
I mean, like I said, it puts them in a tough position. But if they are leaning to what AJ's saying, I am with AJ. I'd rather you just pull the Band-Aid off. Just tell us, so that we can begin to already mentally get past it.
You can't say it without pretty much tanking your future films, because if they do say
but that's
that
the
Thursday,
question: how much do you care if you want to just start over, because there will never be a point where you can successfully start over, even if you wait. Because if you
There's
wait
no
until
better
after it's
place to
successful,
start over than after the Flash, regardless of what.
Yeah, because you got to. If you say that Thursday, why am I going to see Black Adam? Other than maybe I want to go see The Rock. Why am I going to see The Flash? Why am I going to see Shazam?
well, then let me ask you, Didge. Let me ask you, and this is me actually asking you, not trying to be sarcastic or anything, but you don't think it's more pressure if you wait until after the movie and it's a fucking juggernaut, and then you go, well, it's all gone.
But then
forget everything you just
your
saw.
plans can change. I mean, it's just if their thing is I want to make money, it doesn't seem to make business sense to literally kill any buzz for your film, because a lot of things that people do like of these movies is, well, I want to see where it connects. Where are we going from here? And if it's, well, we know we're going nowhere from here, why do I care to go watch it then?
Okay, so Peacemaker season 2 was greenlit in February.
Right.
That's when it was announced.
The restructuring was announced April.
And the completion of the merger between Warner Bros. Discovery was in April 8th of 2022.
Mm-hmm. But also don't forget, Amanda Waller had something greenlit not too long ago.
Yeah,
after April.
Was that part of Black Adam?
No, there was announced that she was getting her own series.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Checkmate, which is a James Gunn probably gonna be part of that too.
Right.
Okay.
I wish we would get a standalone Keaton film or series. But see, that's part of my problem, because when you don't have a structure here at home, and then you're just entertaining all these other things around it, I then go, well, if this is doing successful, why not just build around that? Or if that's successful, why not just build around that? You're just creating more conversations that you don't need. Right now, you need a singular focus, right? A singular focus. And adding more projects on doesn't get you to where you need to go. Like, look at this, man. I was really excited to see this. I was really freaking excited to see
good in
this.
that costume.
She looked really good. And I was curious to see how all those other characters turned out. That they were introducing, like her friends and stuff like that. Like, were there more to those characters? I wanted to see it. And the biggest thing, were the Nightwing rumors true? Like, you know what, AJ? If they are going to talk about this movie being canceled on Thursday, you know what should be said? They were going to do Nightwing. Hey, you fucking owe us. Like, if that was what was going to happen, we should at least know, right? Like, we should at least know. So whoever started that rumor, we can go, fucking good, man. You were good. He was in it. Okay, cool. All right.
So
but to me,
if you're going to cut Batgirl, what does that mean for Supergirl in The Flash?
Well, I think the writing on the wall for Supergirl was there when the guy came in and said, oh, we're definitely doing Superman. I don't know what the fuck y'all thought. Like, now, again, you can do Superman and Supergirl, but it very much was Supergirl's the future. Then he came in and he was like, no, Superman. Like, we're going to do Superman. I don't know what they were talking about, but Superman. So right when I heard that, I was just like, oh, well.
That's it for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, you know.
I'm like, I mean, we've only been asking for like years now. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
But again, and it goes into, and I'm curious, your thoughts on this? It goes into, and again, I'm not breathing air into this, right? But if there were a world where Ben did come back, right, it would still leave the door open for Batgirl to just flow right into
it still would have made sense. If you took Superman and put Ben in, it still would have made sense.
Still makes all the sense in the world. I will say
the tone of the movie is different, but
the tone is different, and you have to make that Batman not drastically, but a lot more active than we knew Keaton was going to be in the future of the DCEU going forward. Right, like Ben's Batman is very much just like, I don't sit.
Well, look, I was trying to save this for later, but let's say that, like you said, let's say Ben does. Like, this whole thing happens out, and let's say the best foot forward is Ben's back. We cancel the Batman because I think that's what everyone wants. That wants Ben back. They want to cancel the Batman, right? 'Cause that's
100%.
one, right?
Yep.
He replaces now. There's no Keaton in the Flash. They're gonna delete him completely, right?
Yep.
I don't even know why he's in the movie. It's a Ben movie. It's a Batman movie. It's not. We're gonna change it from the Flash to the Batman again.
It's Ben's world.
Right? So that's gone. So now it's gonna be Ben's Batman the Flash. #/the Flash, right? Then he's gonna get his own solo movie starring Deathstroke and the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's gonna be Ben's Batman and Deathstroke, and we're gonna get now like a trilogy of those movies, and then all is right with the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just making
that's what.
sure.
Yeah,
That's the best possible outcome, right?
I mean, and here, Joel, I'll add some sprinkles to that.
I'm just
right?
being realistic.
I'll add some sprinkles to that. You then bring back Henry Cavill, right?
Oh, even better.
You then properly assemble the Justice League.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, you then can look at the whole as this is it. This is the full Justice League. Everyone's starting to get solo movies. You don't have to drastically erase everything that was yesterday, but you can embrace what is tomorrow, right? But logically, Batman made money. Joker just won a fucking Oscar. Those things are staying. So that will always haunt whatever the fucking future is. That's all I'm trying to say to everyone that's just like, well, Ben's back. Well,
for the record, we fucking love Ben Affleck as Batman. That needs to be noted because I did.
It took me forever to accept that he was gone. But once he was gone, I embraced our new Batman. And then it was just like, well, maybe he might come back. No, ain't no fucking maybe. Like, there's no maybe.
Don't give me hope. Don't you give me hope.
Like,
I went past that
you.
shit years ago.
Yeah, man. So to me, Didge, what I was trying to ask you is, if you had to restructure this, right? Taking everything into account, what AJ's saying, what me and Joel were just joking about, what you think is realistically possible.
This is what's gonna happen, right, Trayvon? Oh, he's not here.
He's here in spirit, and he's just like, yup, exactly. You know, Trayvon. But Didge, what would be your course to move forward? Like, what would you do to make things better for the DC universe?
Well, first, I want to address you saying that the Batman made money, so it's gonna stay. It made less than Batman vs Superman, and they're both gone. So I don't know if it making money means it's staying.
Are they both gone though?
I have no idea that that's the case.
As of right now, as of today, right now, there's no plans for a future of those. There's no. Well, what we know is there's no plans for a future.
There's a Batman too. That got greenlit already.
I was about to say, we do know that there's plans for
No, I'm talking about for Batman vs Superman. Like for the
that's not obvious. That sequel did come out.
Right.
They got fucked with. Right. We got the director's cut of that later on.
I don't know if the Justice League.
Right.
We're saying actual Batman
and remember,
or Superman movie.
But time out. And remember, they weren't booted out. Ben left on his own recognizance, and it seemed like Henry had a massive disagreement with management, and they said, well, go fuck off. And he took it personally.
So he was kind of booted.
Henry was more so like, hey, I'll walk. And they were like, well, there's a door. So it was more so like a mutual parting.
All right, fair.
It was a money power thing. He wanted more creative control, wanted more money. That's what I'm assuming.
They were trying to call each other's bluff, right?
Fair,
where
that's
he's like,
fair.
you won't let me walk. And they were like, you won't leave Superman. And they both did. And they were like, well, shit. I'm going to be the fucking Witcher.
I can agree to that. But to answer your question, as much as it would suck and as much as it's going to be a loss of money, I think AJ is right. If your plan is we're going to eventually reboot it, cancel everything now. Just let Black Adam come out because The Rock, like I said, The Rock would destroy Warner. If that doesn't come out, he's destroying everybody. So you got to let Black Adam come out. That's just that. But everything else,
thank you on social media. You'll never recover.
Right. But everything else, you kind of just got to eat the loss and say, we fucked up. We got to restart. And
Flashpoint we hope you that restart though, dog. That's what I'm trying to say.
Or be like Ray Fisher and say they fucked up, not us.
Right. Or just say they fucked up. Because Juan's right. If Flash does well, if Black Adam does well, and if Shazam does well, then it is that you're gonna have to answer those questions of, well, why the hell did you cancel it? And you're never gonna have a perfect time. It's always going to be, well, why the hell did you cancel it? But at least right now, you coming in fresh, you can say, well, we wanted to stop everything that they did, again, barring Black Adam, and just start anew.
That's fair. I do want to answer this question. Well, not question, but I do want to acknowledge this. I think people that think like this, I think you're thinking too small. And I know that sounds crazy, but what I mean by thinking too small is you got to kind of have your DCU working for me to understand that this is just stuff we want to give directors freedom to do.
Elseworld movie,
right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But to me, the problem is
connected universe,
right? But to me, my problem is you're like, hey, all right, we at some point had no Batman, right? When Ben left, it was Robert Pattinson's off doing things over here. There was currently a vacuum for Batman, right?
Yeah.
So you're sitting there and you're like, well, if his Batman's good, how do you convince people, right, that that's just over there? It'll never be over here. Their response to that was Michael Keaton, right? I just give you Michael Keaton. So to me, I kind of feel like if the main universe isn't steady, like if Kevin Feige said, you know what, I want to do an Elseworld Iron Man movie, nobody would be sitting there like, well, wait, I'm so confused. Is that part of the main universe? Are you going to bring that? We would know Stark had his time. He's gone. This is just to give somebody that artistic freedom to do something new with Iron Man. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
What if is?
There you go. But you couldn't have done What If right after Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd be sitting there like, is this connected? Like, am I supposed to care about both? Like, what's happening here? So
It's like
again,
doing,
go ahead.
What if we're gonna do Iron Man again after Avengers?
Right. And then you're like,
basically,
well,
you can have
what?
the disconnected movies, but
You
make
can.
sure you haven't already established universe before.
So it doesn't confuse
And
anybody.
make sure those fucking actually different.
Yeah.
Yes. yes. Because I will say, when they first dropped the trailer for the Batman, his aggression seemed eerily familiar. like didn't I see a really aggressive Batman? Like, what are you doing here? And then you see the movie and you're like, okay, all right, he's young, he's learning, okay. He's getting to where he needs to be. But that shit
Chaos
was
number
confusing.
2. Here we go.
Here we go. The grenade.
Second round of
The
chaos.
grenade.
AJ, you weren't
is
enough chaos,
dropped.
apparently.
What are we doing?
Oh, we
Yeah,
already saw
AJ,
that shit.
pass the baton. Yeah, pass the baton, AJ.
I'm good.
The hierarchy
all
of
you,
power
Trayvon.
in the DC universe.
The hierarchy
is
of
about to
chaos in this stream is about
What's
to change.
wrong?
change. Yeah, that's for sure.
I already
guys
gave you
talking
the
about?
best possible scenario. You missed it.
That's for sure. Oh, Trayvon, I didn't even see your text. Let me in. I shouldn't have. That wasn't up to me, though. That wasn't up to me, though. No, but I mean, and Ryan, you make a really good point, but that's to what we were saying. You could definitely have two, but one needs to be standing on its feet before you bring in the other. Especially when you cancel a Joker and then the one you introduce goes and wins you an Oscar. Yeah, a lot of people are like, well, is there any way you could just bring him into the DCEU? Like, is there any way we could just do that? And whenever that's a question, you fucked up. That's all I'm saying. Whenever that's a logical question for someone to ask, you haven't done your job. They should know that there's no way that could ever connect. You have your Joker here, that Joker's over there. But when you get rid of a Joker, it leaves a vacuum for someone to try to fill. And that's where the problem comes from. But AJ, so you're with AJ on the idea of, look, if you're gonna blow it up, let's blow it up now. Let's not wait. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Let's take that grenade that Trayvon has that says chaos and launch it, right? And just launch it right into the crowd, right? So I get it. I don't necessarily disagree with the idea of
It's gonna suck. It's not ideal. But if you're gonna do it, don't string everybody along.
To me, at this point, it wouldn't even suck. It would actually make more sense than what I'm trying to piece together with no
Fair.
information right now. Like, trying to piece together the DCEU with no information, my mind does naturally default to
Having to
blow it up.
explain this to people is the most embarrassing thing in the world because like I can't make sense of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's
Yep,
an
yep,
easy
yep,
way.
yep.
Here's an easy way.
Okay. Go ahead before we pass it to Will. Go ahead, AJ.
Make the Batman canon. Make it canon. I don't care what Matt Reeves says. I don't care. He
agree.
can still do his own thing.
I agree.
But still make Robert Pattinson's Batman canon to the DCEU.
I agree.
Everything else, you can just throw away, especially
I
since you
agree,
since
sir.
you already have a perfect foundation already with the Batman. Just start
I
with
agree.
that, move forward.
And
You
stop
can
making
have
everything
Matt
so
Reeves do his own thing
grounded.
still. If you want to do the Justice
Not
League, get another director.
So Matt
whatever.
Reeves wanted, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you mean for Batman?
In general, I want to see some of the more fantastical villains in Batman. Let me get an actual
So do
Mr.
I.
Freeze.
Oh,
Let me get an actual
okay.
Poison
Okay.
Ivy.
Yeah, I
I
get
don't
it.
want
We're
everything
pretty
to be
grounded.
just so.
But Diz, remember, Batman did start grounded first before he became more fantastical.
No, I
So,
agree.
Year 2, he can definitely be more fantastical than he
I mean, that
was
was
in year 1.
But I'm
I'm sorry,
isn't
year
his
3 and
plan?
year 2.
Isn't his plan still to never not be grounded?
No, I don't think so.
He said there's
He
a
definitely want to be more
there's a certain way he
fantastical.
wants to do things where it's kind of realistic. That's all.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yes. Clayface
Like
is very doable.
Chris Nolan, basically.
No, not like
Yes,
Chris
it is.
Nolan.
Yes,
What? The opposite.
No,
Yes, it
the
is.
opposite. No, not at all.
Same idea.
When I left the
It's not-
Batman, I very much left that movie going, they could do fantastical things. Every Nolan movie I left, I went, yep, makes sense. That's the villain you went with. This is very much the tone of the entirety of this trilogy you set, that you will never explore, that there could be someone who turns into fucking clay and goes down a drain. Reeves' universe looks like there is a door open. Whether he goes through it, I'm not here to argue that.
I
But it
hope he
did
does.
leave the door open that he could do it, and it would not make anything look or feel different.
I'm so tired of grounded Batman movies.
I don't
hope he
think,
does.
to me, I'm tired of realistic. Like,
Well,
to where
I-
you completely take it out.
Sure, I guess
of
that's a
what
better
the
way.
mythos is of Batman.
Yeah, I guess
The
that's a better way to
Batman-
put it.
The Batman felt like the comic. Nolan's movies felt like if you went outside and you saw an old lady getting robbed, this is what it would look like, right? This guy would come drop down and save her. Reeves' verse looked more like I read books that looked and felt like this. So that's the difference for me. I'm not saying it for everybody. For me, that was the difference.
Yeah.
It felt like you can implement the fantastical into it. That's all I'm saying.
That's fantastical enough. That motherfucker was walking through bullets.
Yeah, Didge, come on, man. That shit doesn't happen
My
every day.
man slammed to
He
a
was
bridge.
like, "I'm gonna take it like a man."
No, wait, AJ, hold on. You're not being specific enough. He ran into that bridge with his face.
Flew.
Got
No,
right
he
back
didn't
up.
run. He flew.
He
flew. He
That
said,
was.
Head
Oh.
first and walk away limping.
I would love to see, like I said, like a Mr. Freeze or a Poison Ivy.
Hey,
Just-
that's one of the more popular choices, Mr. Freeze.
And again, remember, there were plans with, and again, Batgirl is about to give you Firefly,
I know.
right? So it's like
I know.
you were about to enter that realm, Didge. You were entering that realm right then and there. You're entering it.
Yeah, that
Oh man,
it's unfortunate.
Yes, but Will, I want to ask you, Will. We heard what I would do, what Didge would do, what AJ would do. I want to pass it to you, Will. How would you bring balance to the DC universe? Notice I'm not saying DCEU. In case you want to get out of that, we'll just say DC universe.
Yeah, I think if I were to the Kevin Feige of DC and Warner, I would reestablish a shared universe, and not try to replicate the Marvel type of shared universe, but there's other examples out. I think like Star Wars, for example, where you can have a big global universe of a lot of different characters, and would try to, basically, kind of replicate the comic. I mean, that's the ultimate shared universe, right? So, so I would just basically start with that. Have a central creative to give an overarching theme or arc to what we are trying to do. Like, I hate to bring it back to Marvel, but to have your Kevin Feige type. I guess have your Jon Favreau, which again Marvel. Okay, Star Wars, Jon Favreau. What he and Filoni are doing.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Star Wars. What Filoni and Favreau are doing now with their universe and the Star Wars universe, and really craft out a plan for what we're going to do, how we're going to integrate the Trinity, because that's going to get the people in first, because people know Superman, people know Batman, people know Wonder Woman, and then grow from that. I mean, one of the things that actually I am looking forward to with Black Adam, for example, is not necessarily The Rock, but the JSA.
Yes.
And so,
Absolutely.
use these core characters that people are familiar with, and then and add the Flash, and add Green Lantern, and then add the JSA, add Martian Manhunter, and other lesser, the next tier of characters that obviously hardcore fans would know, but also general audiences may have seen it on a lunchbox somewhere when they were growing up, or or at school, or some trending on social media or whatever. That's how I would build that universe, and to have that core, and integrate. I know the Zaslav doesn't want to integrate. If you are going to integrate the streaming platforms, do what they're doing now with, for example, the Batman universe that Matt Reeves has created. Right. Having your interconnected shows that like the Penguin Show and the Jim Gordon Show, and so you can use your streaming platforms to flesh out those stories in between seasons, like what we have seen on Marvel, but to introduce new characters, but also for those established characters, flesh your stories out some, instead of trying to stuff it all into a 2.5 hour movie. So that's just sort of a off the cuff way I would try to start fresh with this universe.
I don't disagree, and I like that, starting from its truest beginnings, right, and then fizzling on down into the more modern and bigger names of the DC universe. I'd have no problem with that whatsoever. But like you said, it's important that you bring a sense of connection to this universe. I can't tell you guys how many times me and Joel have heard people say, I understand why these movies need to connect at all. Huh? Like, but you grew up on Justice League Unlimited. That was as fucking connected as you could get. Like, that was nothing but just a team-oriented feel of bringing these characters together. Why would you not want to see that in live action? I feel like you're robbing yourself at that point, right?
Yeah.
And I think the divide is, I think people believe when we say we want these movies to connect, they think like when a Batman movie comes out, Superman's fighting right next to him. Like, that's not what we mean. We mean
he's over Batman, the river, Joanne. He's right next door.
He's right next door. He just knocks. He's right there. But the middle ground to that is Batman's watching TV, and something on the news about Superman comes up, and you're like, oh, okay, beautiful, connected. That's it, right? Yeah. I don't need to see Superman fly through the sky. He doesn't need to talk to Batman. It's just that little small connective tissue.
Right.
That's it.
Those Batman movies, those like the Matt Reeves Batman movies, did not have. They could have been in the same world, and he never had to touch or talk about any of the other DC heroes, and I would never care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Or Joel, he could have kept something as subtle as he could have kept that Halloween party in. Remember that they shot?
Yes.
Where the people were in Superman and Wonder Woman costumes. That would have let us know, oh, of course it connects.
They're going to force that scene in the sequel when they combine it.
They're going to go, hey, that's how your movie starts. That's the intro. I fucking love you guys. All right, Joel, I'm going to go to you before we essentially pass it to Trayvon to just spin this entire conversation. But Joel, we've talked about this a few times, but I know you want some middle ground between a chaos grenade and blowing it up for pieces. But like, how would you get this back on track?
I thought the original idea of like soft rebooting it was the best idea. It just didn't execute it very well so far. You know what I mean?
Or acknowledge that that's what they want to do.
Right. Just soft reboot it. How hard was that? I mean, just the Batman. All right, fine. Leave it separate. Like I said, I thought they're doing the right thing, because like if they're not going to touch the Batman, if it's going to stay in its own little world, to bringing in Keaton was fine, because if Ben left, right? So if he left, walked away, he didn't want to be Batman anymore, they had to find another way. And look, now you bring in Keaton, it was better. Why? Because he doesn't step on Pattinson's toes. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about him getting his own movies and shit like that.
You don't have to worry about Keaton coming in and going, I can't fight in this fucking movie. No, I'm not interested. Like Ben would have wanted to put boots to asses. Keaton's like, I get to sit in the chair all day.
He's young. He's also a younger, not young, but he's younger than what Keaton version is.
Right.
So yeah, you wouldn't need him to have. You wouldn't want him to have his own movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they would. You can't have. It just doesn't make sense with all the characters in the world. You don't have 2 fucking Batman movies. It just bothers the shit out of me.
It's a multiverse.
Because
It's
money
not a
supports
multiverse,
all the
though,
characters,
Trayvon.
not just 2 Batman. You don't even like Batman enough to do that. What are you saying right now?
That's the chaos already starting.
Oh, my God.
but
He's
my
good
problem.
at it. That's true.
But my only thing is, I would just at this point, after what happened today, it just seems like it looks more like a reboot than anything.
Right.
It's just like they're gonna start, maybe not from scratch, but at least close to scratch as they're gonna get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a version of a soft reboot. We'll have to wait and see because it's just fuck, at this point. But I don't want to waste what we've had. That's my only thing. I don't want to lose Peacemaker. I don't want to lose the Wonder Woman and Aquaman that we have, the Blue Beetle that we may get. Stuff like that.
That's gone.
Black Adam, Shazam, like characters we've established. I don't want to already lose them as I just kind of got them.
I think there is a way to somehow do what AJ is saying and do what you're saying. So, like, if you're talking about like Peacemaker, let's just use
middle
Peacemaker.
ground. I'll take the
Peacemaker.
Let's just use Peacemaker. I don't think Peacemaker, Amanda Waller, I don't think those pieces would have to go, right? Because those are essentially like, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but like ancillary characters that can just fit in anywhere, right? It's the trouble of you can't double up on Batman, double up on Superman, or double up on, like, you can't double up on those things. So that needs to be rebooted.
Figured out.
But the pieces that are like, and I'm gonna get to this comment. Please keep it up, Oracle. But the pieces like Peacemaker and stuff, those things don't have to be thrown in the garbage. You just have to find a new creative way to bring them in.
That's what I mean. It's like it's a type of soft reboot. So I don't have to lose everything.
Right.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like, I just don't see them completely rebooting, but I also don't see them. I obviously they're not going to be what we expected. This new team is very much like, I will cut you. So.
With Batgirl canceled, I wonder if other upcoming movies like Blue Beetle will be canceled. 100%.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's if we're gonna pass it to Trayvon to go full chaos, let's go full chaos, baby. Static Shock is going.
Oh, I know.
Static Blue Beetle.
I've already. You heard I kept talking about it. I didn't think I was gonna get it anyway. So I was like, hey,
Yeah,
to be fair, under the last regime, you would have. Under this new regime,
no. See,
maybe not.
Maybe
not.
You know what's funny about Are you done, Joel? Because I can.
I'm done.
I'm ready. Okay. So I think it's so funny. Yes, rest in peace, Static. Along with all the other diverse movies they greenlit, to fix their image. So I'll just do those. These movies are gonna go. These movies are gonna go first. Blue Beetle's gonna probably announce tomorrow. Static Shock, they'll just act like that didn't exist. They won't say nothing. And DC fandom, I highly doubt it. I really don't think we're getting one. But maybe we will. Maybe I don't know what they're gonna talk about. What are they gonna talk about? What are you gonna say? Hey,
they got shows.
Do they?
We got stuff.
Do they? What do they have?
Superman and Lois is still around.
I told Juwan earlier. I don't think we're gonna.
That's not gonna carry it. That's not gonna.
Probably
Superman and Lois ain't carry
it.
To be fair, Trayvon.
Yeah, I just think if you.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I know. I looked it up to see when did last year's pandemic. That was that was in October.
Well, hold on.
Well, you were in a blender.
No,
you are in a.
Apparently, Warner Brothers cut your feed, so you're gonna have to try that one more time.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah. We got a bunch of sports here.
Yeah.
It is Warner. No, they don't.
Sorry.
It's Warner Brothers, bro.
Just start.
Yeah.
Warner.
I'm just messing with me here.
They are.
Every time
They
you say
are.
Warner Brothers, it's really scrambled.
It's just like, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can. And
Okay, good deal.
saying it. Good.
All right. Good luck. Yeah, I was gonna say Warner. So I looked up DC Fandom 2021. That was announced in April of 2021 for an event in October.
Yeah.
So if they were gonna have one, yeah.
Well, to be fair, Will, as AJ stated before, the new regime was officially passed in April, right?
Yeah, but it
at
could.
that
But even with the new regime, I mean, there were projects were already ongoing. So new regime, old regime, whatever. They would have kicked that planning off for that event so that they would be, so that because it takes time. You can't just pull something together, a worldwide event, literally, in 2 months. So
you can if
yes.
I mean, you got to get them to film and all that stuff. They got to have stuff to show. Like, I feel like the thing that they could show is
filming
the
doesn't mean
Batgirl
anything.
trailer. They could have given.
Yeah, but I was just looking at the website. I mean, there's.
Blue
But
Beetle trailer.
Here's the thing.
all
Let
that
me
shit
say
going.
this. Let me say this.
So,
Just so I'm clear here. My argument isn't that I'm thinking they will do it. My argument is solely that if they wanted to, they could still pull it off because it's strictly virtual, right? So just to get a few people to Skype in their responses to things or whatever, it's previously recorded. That shit's not live.
now
You're not getting James Gunn right in the middle of his day.
Hold on now. Compared it to the other one, it was highly produced. Like, it's not just read like a few people. It's very like.
And I'm saying it's done
very
virtually,
choreographed.
Trayvon.
But I'm saying it's really well produced. And, like, it got a lot of content.
I don't disagree.
It's nothing like it. I just don't see what they can even show. Even if they
we do get a fandom, it'll most likely just focus on Black Adam again, Shazam again, and
nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Like, what?
It doesn't matter what y'all want to see. That's what we're going to get because there's no plan.
I'm talking about like another fandom with that in it. No, keep it.
They showed, which is hilarious. They showed those last fandom.
To be fair, AJ's not wrong. None of us wanted just that at San Diego. That's exactly what the fuck we got, though. So they clearly don't really care about how we feel. It's more so, what can I do? And this was it. This was all I could do. That was
Look, if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't care what you think either. I would just keep my mind in a place that I need to focus on getting this stuff better for my studio and my programming and stuff like that.
Well, I'll say this. If I inherited something, right, or merged into something that has as much negative publicity as Warner does, I would care what people think, right? I would try to find a balance between what's right and what the general audience would like to see. There is a balance to that. And Feige came out and said, hey, I'm on Twitter. See what the fuck y'all talking about. I may do it. I may not do it. Yeah, he's
and a lot of times he say, "Fuck y'all, I'm doing what I want."
But he does say, like, I do hear you, bro. AJ, you're not telling me John Krasinski was who he always had in his head. That was 1,000% launched by the fandom
for sure. But I'm not saying all the time. I'm saying sometimes people like, "Fuck the
but
fans,
I'm saying
I'll do what I want."
I think Feige finds the common ground. I think Feige goes, okay, this is what they would like to see, but this is how I'm gonna deliver it. Right? All of us, AJ, were like, Gore. Oh shit! Look how they delivered it. So there's an in between. There's an in between here on what y'all want and what I want to do. Right. But go ahead, Trayvon. So walk us through when you heard Batgirl was canceled, and how would you like to see them fix the DC universe?
It can't be fixed. What you mean? It can't be fixed. Just wipe it. Look, what you gonna do? Just go ahead. Rip the band off. Just tell me Static Shot not happening. Just go ahead and tell me so I can just cut y'all off.
Why are you making it so personal?
DC is just cut off for me. Look, just go ahead. Just come on. Tell me what's going on. I really am curious because have we had an official announcement of the Batman 2? Like he says he's going to do it, but has it been officially greenlit?
Yes, it has.
It has?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Didn't they announce it at
I don't remember them announcing.
One of the conventions. Yeah, Matt Reeves came out and announced.
Yeah, I wanted to say Comic Con.
No, it wasn't Comic-Con.
Oh.
It was well before that, but Matt Reeves came out and said that. Yeah.
Okay.
He said that it was greenlit. That's when we heard all the Penguin stuff and whatnot. But he did say it was green. He did say that they
CinemaCon.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, there's no way they touch that fucking film.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm sure y'all have about that. I mean, y'all have that, you know, one character. I don't know. I just feel like they should just go ahead and I don't know, just go ahead, just wipe it away. It's fine. Like you guys talking about Peacemaker, that's low hanging fruit. Who gives a shit? Let them keep doing seasons. That doesn't really matter. Suicide Squad.
Well, hold on, that's
I'm
hurtful.
just saying,
I didn't say it was
it's
low
just
hanging
over there.
fruit.
It ain't like affecting anything. Let it do whatever
Yeah, but it's
supposed to
not
do.
low hanging.
It's
fruit.
over there.
It
It's not. It ain't Batgirl. It ain't Blue Beetle. It's not. It's not Stan Shop. So I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying. Look, I just thought this was really funny. I was also they really canceled the movie. They're done filming, right? You know, it's just really fun.
I love Trayvon's energy every day, Oracle.
It's so. I laughed when I saw it. I was like, "Oh wow, look at that!" I'm waiting for more announcements. I don't know. I don't want to be too negative.
What the hell? You only came in here negative as hell. I don't want to be too negative. Trayvon did the equivalent of "fuck your couch" and talk about I don't want to be too rude.
I said y'all still got y'all Batman. I don't know if y'all getting them shows, but y'all still got you still got that Batman movie.
They're working on it right now, Trayvon.
It's gonna start filming in February. What Colin Farrell said.
I keep saying a lot of stuff, but then
And Blue Beetle is currently filming, and we were just talking about that's done.
Yeah, keep in mind, they just done the whole movie.
Batgirl is part of the old
right, and then Batgirl was in post production, and it got
well, time out. The biggest difference is I kind of feel like if you were gonna stop the Penguin, wouldn't it be now? Why would you?
Well,
why would you let it go?
That's what Thursday will be. Thursday will be everything is done.
Okay.
I doubt it, but okay.
Okay.
What's Thursday?
Got you worried now.
Why Thursday?
Thursday,
we can make bets if y'all want.
Armageddon is Thursday.
Thursday is their isn't that their quarterly? That's their quarterly investors thing, and this is the first one since the merger closed. So they're assuming that all of what Discovery's plans are going to be should be unveiled Thursday.
I just feel like I feel like they're looking at like.
I'm kidding though. I don't know how much is really going to happen.
I'm just saying, like, what do we want to do with Batgirl? I feel like they're in the meeting. There's like, Batgirl, do we care? No, cancel it. Blue Beetle, do we care? Do anybody care? Who's that character? I don't know what that is. Cancel it. I just feel like that's what's happening. If it's not Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, I feel like they're in there like.
You'll never get past those three if you keep.
I'm just saying. I just don't know these people.
I know.
I feel like that's what they're doing.
I'm saying with that kind of logic, you'll never get.
I don't know. Tell what's the name? Slab, whatever. I don't know. Whatever that man is. Tell him. Slab. I just feel like he's just in there cutting shit up. Okay, slab, whatever he is. Slasher. That's what his name is. Slasher.
He's hacking slashing
right now. His name is Slasher.
The hash slinging slasher.
The hash slinging sling.
He in there slashing the hell. Like if they want everything to be theatrical, what does that leave HBO Max? Like, what is that? I just have a lot of questions.
Dragon. TV shows. That's what he wants.
I mean, yes, but
even though he said that he wants everything to be theatrical, he also said he wants everything to be vertical, sort of like Marvel. And you got to assume then that he understands that there's a TV arm, especially now with Marvel. So I would think that the TV shows are more so safe.
That's why that rumor didn't make sense either about the whole HBO Max. I'm like, why would you cut yourself? And again, you're cutting yourself short.
Yes, the hash slinging, slash slinging. I love it.
What are you doing, man? I don't know.
Slash Love. We're gonna call him Slash Love from now on.
Slash Love.
There we go.
They ain't afraid to waste money. That's all I see. Right now.
No, they are not.
So anything is on the table.
Wonder Twins, cut that shit now.
Anything on the table, man. Like
those fuckers got casted the week before, and their movie got shut down.
Yeah, real quick.
They're like,
No.
what are you fucking?
That was the
serious?
main thing I took away from the day. I saw
That was like a month after the merger was completed too.
Yeah,
Literally
they
a
wasted
month.
no time. They're like Wonder Twins, really?
What?
Yeah, they were like, who said that? They're like, they're not here anymore. Good, get it out of here. Like, throw that shit in the garbage. Throw it right in the garbage. What are we talking about right
Who
now?
was in charge here?
like who brought their kid to work that day? Who brought their kid to work that day?
Nope, I'm good.
Let's get rid of it.
If they don't, now y'all keep saying they're not gonna scrap the Flash. You know, like, but if they don't scrap it,
here's the problem, Trayvon. Here's the problem. But here's the problem. I'm not disagreeing that could be a future, but here's the problem with that. I have to imagine if you were going to scrap something, it would be that first, right? It'd be that first, then everything else.
What, Wonder Twins?
No, he's saying that there's a possibility maybe Flash might be next. And I'm saying I would start there, right? Because once that goes, you don't have to tell me Batgirl's gone. I assume it, right?
Yeah, that's fair. No, you
should.
If you're eventually canceling Flash, you did this in a horrible order.
Yeah, I think Trayvon keeps forgetting Batgirl is a legit successor of Flash. It can't exist without.
I didn't say it. I just don't.
No, I'm saying if you're going to announce cancellations, I'd start with the Flash, and then everybody would go anything that has Keaton's face attached to it. It's gone.
Well,
that's why Aquaman comes in place to me.
That's exactly why I was saying that I guarantee y'all that Zaslav wanted to cancel Flash because this is already becoming a $300 million movie.
Oh yeah, I do think he wants. I do think he wants to.
It's
before
the
Flash show started.
Cancel it now if it's 300 plus.
I do think he wants to cancel Flash. I do agree with AJ.
I think everyone wants to cancel Flash, and it's not because it's the movie; it's because of the situation.
Yes, yeah.
Which will never happen. But yeah,
I don't necessarily think again.
They are reshoots. I don't know.
Look, if y'all have a problem with them slashing a $70 million film, I guarantee y'all there's a huge issue if he slashes a $300+ million film. That's a big.
Here's the difference.
He's not gonna make that back.
Here's the difference. Though. Here's the difference, AJ. Literally nobody in the world was shitting on Batgirl. There is an entire movement called the Flush to shit on the Flash.
That doesn't matter.
That
does not matter. We already stated it doesn't matter how much bad publicity it gets. It's still going to make money regardless. So
no. Time out. But you're saying people, if people were upset about Batgirl, they'd be upset about the Flash.
No, I'm saying their argument is bad.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Because I was responding to that. I'm like, well, people already are shitting on the Flash.
I don't care about the personal opinion stuff.
Gotcha.
I'm talking business wise. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, see how they profit.
I don't see how
they're not gonna make it back. They're not gonna make it back what they paid on this movie.
I don't see how you believe
eventually
that.
They will make it back. It's just it will take a longer time.
Trayvon, I think you keep forgetting Josh Whedon was not looked upon kindly when Justice League came out, and that shit still made whatever money it did. Whatever money it did, it made it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna look that up.
I have their box office performances all up. I can tell you in a second.
Oh, okay.
It made $657 million.
300 million.
Which for Justice League,
fucking
blasphemous.
Versus 300. Like I said, literally for DC, for all of their DCEU movies, the only two that didn't make at least double their budget are the two that released on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yep. So again, Batgirl could have made money. Flash will make money. The decision then will become: has this made so much money I just want to recast him and keep everything else the same?
He's gone.
Or do I want to completely get rid of the entire universe it built and start anew? That's what'll be the question.
It's just giving me a headache. That's why I said just cut the shit off. If we just cut it off, just everything.
Whether they reboot the universe and replace Ezra that way, or they just replace him and keep it within the same. He's getting replaced.
Right. It's too much to think about.
Reshoot the movie. Just sink the. It's to sink 300 mil.
Reshooting the movie is an idiotic plan as well. That's the
Okay.
stupidest thing.
Okay.
It also
anybody-
doesn't help your bottom line either. It costs you some money to do that.
Well, that's why you get rid of the little stuff to use all that money to reach.
You still lost that money though.
Fucking Ezra's in that movie twice, basically.
I know.
It's like fucking bullshit.
Keaton is in it
Trayvon,
too.
I think
Wow.
everybody
Giant double
agrees.
big commercial.
I think everybody agrees. Before you get to reshooting, just throw the movie in the garbage. Don't even go through it. Don't even waste your time.
It's better to just
Don't even
throw
waste
the
your
whole
time.
thing away before you
Throw
put
the whole
more
thing in the
money
garbage.
into it.
You're
Yeah.
basically throwing it away anyway.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. So I mean, look, I think we can all agree. AJ, me and you definitely believe that fucking Titans is on the way out. We believe Doom Patrol is on the way out. We believe all that shit is on the way out. I know that there's a lot of people that we are friends with that don't want to believe it, but it's on its way out. Like it just is.
Oracle,
It has to
Oracle.
be. Yes, it just has to be. Yeah, Teen Titans Go, the animated series is here to stay, but Teen Titans, the live action series, that has to just be logically.
How much did the Batman make?
773, I think.
It was like a 150, 175 budget, right?
Yeah. 185 to
Are you
probably
trying
200,
to? Are you
200
trying to?
probably with
He's trying to justify
COVID delays and everything.
I know he is. After we just established that money is not the problem for Warner Brothers. He's like, well, did it make money? Well, we just stated
That's all they care
making
about.
money.
What you mean?
Yes,
This
but
is
it made
different. It's a
money.
different studio.
It made money. Like that's what we keep trying to say. These movies
Trayvon,
make
that's
money.
that's not what the old regime was thinking about. They didn't care about that. They still made money. They were like, oh, let's course correct here.
Yes,
Let's course correct there.
Here's the problem. The old regime tripped up into movies making money, right? They were just, oh shit.
This still
Oh
made money.
shit. What? We didn't even try. Oh shit. Okay, cool. We'll take
They
it.
tried.
That's what the old regime was. No, the hell they didn't. Not some of the shit I saw. No, the
It's
fuck
like
they
is
didn't.
Sony
wild
right
that
now.
Aquaman was
The
their
old
most
regime is
successful
Sony,
film.
basically.
A lot of those movies, I definitely believe y'all did not try your hardest. You might have tried, but not your hardest. That's for damn sure. Those movies just could have been increasingly better. That's it. I think we all can agree on that. Those movies could have all been better.
Aquaman made that money off of the back of James Moore
That was their most successful film. That's the
It
only
was
one
a
that
good movie. Trey.
I liked Aquaman a lot.
and off of his beauty. Yeah.
It was a good movie. I don't think most of
I was
the
just trying to
I don't think most
But
of the
it-
fans
part
are
of it-
saying.
beauty. Part of it. It was, yeah.
I think there is a demographic that it appealed to for sure.
Yeah.
What's
Like
the
any
top
movie.
five, Ditch?
Aquaman, Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Man of Steel.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
But
makes
also, I also kind of really don't like how much if a comic book movie doesn't make $1 billion, it's a failure.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Like that's such bullshit.
Yeah,
Talk about high standards.
Right.
yeah.
And that's
To
why I
me-
remind people that Captain Marvel made a billion. Just saying. But yeah, let's continue. Let's continue. Saying.
I think if we want,
Paying for quality there.
yeah, I love. Oracle.
Listen, I
love
mean,
Oracle.
it's something, you know.
But look, if you want to talk about making its money off the back, it literally was watched because you felt like you needed to see Endgame. So I'm just saying that. you know?
Whatever you say to get yourself, yourself through it, I just know it made
I
a
mean,
billion.
you just tried to tell me Aquaman made it.
all the movies didn't make a billion. You had to watch those too, right?
Excuse me?
Just saying.
What?
All the Marvel movies didn't make $1 billion. So, I mean,
They got my money.
It's a fair argument.
They got my money too. Yeah.
You got all of our money. All of us saw Captain Marvel. I don't think any of us had massive issues with Captain Marvel, but
There's
it
no
had
DC
issues.
film that made $2 billion, Trayvon.
What?
I guess the thing about the money thing is, I mean, yeah, as far as production with Batgirl, if they were to like be able to release it theatrically, I mean, yes, they already spent about 80 to 90 millions on that. But then you also got to figure the marketing stuff, another 50 to 30 to like
Well,
boost
they
that.
didn't
So,
really
Wait,
include
hold on,
marketing. It was
Hold on,
just
time
70.
out. Hold on, really quickly, because I want to slash that theory real quick, Will. Didge, can you pull up Birds of Prey for me?
Yeah, I already have it up.
You have it up?
Yeah.
oh, okay.
How much did Birds of Prey make, and what was its budget?
205 to 85.
85 was its budget. I can tell you
Well-
right now, that movie gave nothing to its marketing, and it still made money. I mean, nothing. They showed up to New York Comic Con as a surprise, rather than just advertising that they'd be there. People
But
were
is it?
leaving.
But I will rebut that in one. But I will rebut that with you had a very Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie has at a different level as far as fandom and
We're talking
energy.
about Michael Keaton, that a lot of people believe started all this shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
Michael Keaton's
you
only
can't
going to
get
be
any
like
bigger.
in a few scenes. I mean, it's not like he's not the headliner. The headliner is Batwoman or Batgirl.
Headliner is sex sells. That's what it is.
Well, that is, you could argue that is exactly what sold
Yeah.
that movie. But again,
Exactly.
that's a perfect example of they didn't give any marketing to it at all because they didn't know what the clear message of that fucking movie was. Is
I
it
mean, they
Harley,
had.
or is it the
It
Birds
was
of
Harley
Prey?
Quinn. It was Harley Quinn. Boom. That's it. Come see it.
But you called it Birds of Prey.
But it was Harley Quinn. I called it Harley Quinn.
I mean, hell, at one point the movie was called Harley. What is it?
Harley Quinn.
Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
One Harley
No,
Quinn.
that's still what it's called.
I thought they officially that to your point of not giving it anything. They changed the title of the movie.
They changed the title.
To your point.
They changed they did do some marketing because they changed the marketing focus. I remember us having a conversation with you and Tia and myself about this thing. So
Well, you can't say they changed the marketing focus by changing it to Birds of Prey, and then the cover is Harley Quinn the size of the fucking poster, and the Birds of Prey is little Tic
That's what it
Tac.
always was.
That's
It's
not changing
Harley
the
Quinn.
marketing. That's not changing the marketing. That's just going, hey, you guys do know Birds of Prey are in it, right? Like, they're here. like I just want to remind you, they're breathing here. Like, come see
Everybody
us.
said we were like, we're going to see the Harley Quinn movie. That was it.
I did not hear anybody say that. I definitely heard people say, can I have a ticket for Birds of Prey? I don't remember anyone saying, can I have a ticket for Harley Quinn?
Okay.
It was definitely a Birds of Prey movie. But anyway, I think we can all agree. That when Thursday comes around, if something is said, we will definitely be talking about it because it's the first step to the rest of our lives in DC.
Okay.
It is step one to what we hope is a short and very successful step, right?
It's
Like,
gonna
I don't
be
need-
long and frightening.
I don't
guarantee
need
you that.
30 steps. I need about a good 5. I need a good 5 steps, and I need that shit to be within 4 years. That's really it. 4 years.
4 years.
Within 4 years, and you've built something.
The huge problem with the
sustainable.
first one was because it was rushed to one. Come on now.
No, that wasn't my issue. Again, I said I wouldn't have changed starting with Man of Steel than BVS. I just would have made better movies. That was my bigger problem. I just would have made better movies. Because if
They did
BVS
rush
was
into Justice League, though. I will say that.
That's
Oh, yeah.
fair. I won't argue
That
that,
was a
but
rush,
starting with
Plus
BVS,
Suicide Squad
I had no
too.
problem with. I had no
All
problem.
I
with.
rushed.
did.
I had no problem with that. I would have done BVS, and then I would have definitely
It
just started to
shows.
do solo.
I would have done BVS too, but not in that short of a time span.
Yeah, I think you.
I didn't mind that.
No,
I
I think
didn't
you
They
needed.
woke
an-
him in pretty well, I'll say.
I think you needed a Batman movie before it.
I
Granted,
do.
I know we just came
I mean,
off of so
yeah.
much Batman.
Yeah.
But
Now,
I
here's
think
the
you
thing.
did
Would
one of
I
the-
have
Fine.
would I have preferred it? Yes. But do I think you essentially just made a Batman solo movie anyway? Yeah. So that's why I said I didn't feel slighted. My only slight was that it was supposed to be Superman's sequel that you fizzled down into BVS.
Well, that's why I think you had to give. That's why I think you should have gave Batman a movie first. Maybe even give Superman his dedicated sequel. Then you do a BVS.
Man never got his sequel, like his dedicated sequel.
Yeah, he never got that. And like I said, Justice
I
League.
appreciate it though, because he crawled so Robert Pattinson can walk. I appreciate you, Ben. You looking out for us, Ben. We love you, Ben. I
Justice
appreciate
League
that.
should
Now
have
he's
damn near
coming
came
back
out
to
like last
derail
year.
all of it.
In your dreams. Oh, Sandman's coming out. Is that what's happening, AJ? Is he being influenced by the Sandman or something? Is he sleeping or something? Like, wake him up.
I'm sure
Wake
y'all
him
will
up.
get y'all Batman
Wake 'em
shit
up.
in 3
Wake 'em up.
years. You know?
And I'm sure you'll get Ben back. Never.
mean,
So,
he's
I mean,
Flash.
as long as
like y'all two don't care about DC, right?
That right there.
You know?
That right there.
Jonathan, that's what AJ's been
If he-
preaching.
If
Look,
he
I
the
don't
does
think
that,
Flash swap is definitely gonna
all of it. Do all of it.
I do. Part of rebooting it that I do want to see is taking that E out. I want you to call it something new. I want you to call it something
need a
new.
rebrand.
An issue
I
and a
don't
new.
like that. Yeah. I
We
don't
need a good Flash movie. Batman Superman, etc. to play that. Let's go. I wouldn't say
First, they need to get
out.
a good Flash to
We've
begin
had
You
a
just
whole
gonna- you
movie
gonna
with
sneak-
Batman.
You
Time
gonna
out.
sneak the Hulk
Oh,
up
wait.
in there? What's
Hold
going
on.
on here?
Hold on. Let me say this. Wait.
What's going on here?
But hold on. No, let me say this. Let me say this to his point. Let me say this to his point. Have we seen too many Batman movies that don't really lead into anything? Yes, and that's why I think it's problematic that we had to wait until recently for there to value the idea of building something more than just throwing shit at a wall. But now that we're in a space where we can build a continuity, you need to start with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then it builds the field for you to give everything else. But I
Also, it
never.
doesn't have to be in that order. It can be Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman.
It could be.
Superman,
Whatever.
Batman,
That's
Wonder
fine.
Woman. It doesn't matter.
The one
which
thing
order.
Whatever.
so
Yeah, that's
actually to what he was saying, the one new actor, I don't think that they do. I don't think they recast Wonder Woman or Aquaman. Both of
No.
those.
They're all
No,
getting recast.
no.
Those two.
No,
Those
then
two.
you're not rebooting. You're not rebooting.
I don't think.
You're
I
not
don't think they
rebooting.
recast those two.
No, you're not rebooting.
You're
No,
recasting.
You're not
them.
rebooting.
You're recasting.
You got to recast everything. Everything.
I get
Saying
it.
just
That's
take what
why
you
I
like.
don't
You got to
think
get rid of
I
all
don't
of
think
it.
it's gonna happen. I just don't.
I get it. But that's
Everything has to go.
then maybe they don't. Because I don't. Those are the two I don't think they recast.
You should.
More so Aquaman, just because he hasn't had a bad movie to the good movie. Whereas
Yeah, but to me, that
But now
doesn't
he
make a
has
difference. Here's the funny thing. There was original conversations. It didn't last long, right? But there are original conversations of trying to keep Christian Bale when you were trying to do BVS, right? It immediately got flattened out. But if you had kept that, we would have never seen what Ben could offer. Ben would have never come here to quit for us to see what Robert Pattinson can do. So it's like you need to see new faces. And the only way you do that is to move on.
I get that, but it's like we just got them.
Like that's what I'm saying. Those
I
two,
don't
think
disagree,
those two,
but they fucked up.
And then you also
So-
if Henry Cavill, if he said he wanted to come back, if he made up with them, they'll bring him back too.
Yeah, but don't give him a chance. Reboot.
Like
you
those,
waited too long.
Me and Jonathan are in the same mindset. Me and John. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
all right, Jonathan.
okay.
You
You
lost
just
it.
ruined it right there.
Yeah.
You just ruined it right
Missed it.
there.
What did he say?
He said Ben Affleck was a better Daredevil.
I love it. I love it.
You
Yeah.
just ruined it right there.
Yeah.
We're in the same mindset, and then you just.
Yeah.
ruined it.
That
He was a
movie-
better Daredevil than he was a Batman.
Love it.
That movie was awful. That character is
This is
awful.
awesome.
That character's not awful, dude. God damn it.
They are. So we have.
I am sad about Batgirl because one would have watched it for Michael.
Michael
Well, guess
Keaton,
what? You don't have to
100%.
worry. He'll still be in the Flash, so you'll still get Michael Keaton. You're fine.
Never thought that would have been a good Batman.
That
Nobody.
movie ain't coming out.
Actually, I
The
did.
movie was not.
But hey.
Robert
Yeah, I
Pattinson.
thought when immediately when
Same
they
as not Twilight.
immediately when
Also-
they casted him.
Also, the people that didn't freak out are the people that actually watch Robert Pattinson movies
Exactly.
outside of
But
Twilight.
they weren't worried.
Right.
Please tell me they didn't scrap it. What movie?
They scrapped Batgirl.
They scrapped
Mystery.
Batgirl. I mean, maybe we'll find out Thursday.
We'll find out
Anybody
soon.
want to place a bet? Anybody want to place a bet? on that?
Not with this fucking regime.
No, I need my money.
$2?
Because just what you expect that they're gonna do, they'll do the opposite.
But
Yes.
outside me. They
Yeah.
lost me.
No, you know what they'll do, Didge? You know what they'll do? They'll cancel everything but the Flash. And then AJ will be like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
First of all, yes, I
Um,
do. I'm predicting everything's getting canceled regardless.
Move it up, drop it right here.
You might get Keaton and
They're gonna fuck
before it
everybody
goes.
up
Then
and just
we-
be like,
we
you know
start.
what? Val Kilmer's back. Just
Oh,
My
fuck
qu-
no.
My question is,
No.
my camera wasn't as bad as like George Clooney.
Don't do that.
They're in the
Leave
same
it alone.
fucking boat for me.
My man said, "Fuck my head."
Val
Yeah.
Kilmer wasn't that
fucking
bad.
boat for me.
But
Oh my
Black Adam
God.
is not Black Adam is not gone. I'm telling you guys, The Rock
Black
will not
Adam's not
allow
gonna
that
get
to
caught.
happen.
He gets one movie and that's it.
That's cool.
I
That's
mean,
all he needs.
It would be really confusing if you're Warner Brothers and you cancel Black Adam after trotting his ass out on stage for Comic-Con. The fuck was the point of that? Like,
That's extra revenue. There's no way. There's money there somewhere.
but the bigger problem is it's not even
Wow,
that
coconut
far
head.
from the last
These
time.
comments wild. Coconut head.
No, I was told he got booed because of the Henry Cavill question. He didn't just
Yeah,
get
it
booed.
was.
for
That's
it.
what I heard too.
Yeah, it was the Superman question. That's why I got booed.
Yeah. So, how did Super Pets tank? It's a children's movie. How much money did you think that was gonna make?
They estimated that it was gonna make 25 to 30 first weekend. It made 23.
That's not a tank then.
What are we talking about?
It underperformed, I guess.
I'm just giving the numbers.
The
I'm
tank.
just giving the number.
Well, they told me it tanked. It made 23 million instead of 20.
All right, let's let Will. We'll see you, Will. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun tonight.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. Can't wait to talk to you again, Will.
Yeah, check us out at Cine Nerd.
Definitely.
Absolutely. We plugged you big time at the beginning. We got you, brother.
I know that's about heart right now.
Take care.
Take care. Let's face why is DC not on the same level as Marvel movies?
They haven't had a reboot yet.
Yeah, that is very true. you're entering it. You're entering
Jonathan
it.
got that 50 million a week number. That's not. I remember reading the projections, and it was not 50 million.
What was 50 million?
He's saying that Super Pets was. I remember reading the numbers.
Now he lost me. Yep. All right.
All right, let's get one thing correct. 90 million budget. It's only his first weekend and 23 million.
It's at 44 worldwide, so it's
that's a good thing. If it's only his first week, then
this person is more chaos than me.
20
and also, I wouldn't use Lightyear as like a aha moment, because that's. Do you know how much lineage is attached to Buzz Lightyear? You're getting kids from all kinds of different generations coming out to see
how
that.
much did Lightyear make? Because I thought that underperformed.
I think it.
I thought Lightyear did too, but all I know is Super Pets right now for its second week is at half of its budget. That's not an underperformance.
All right. Yeah. Some people do. Some people like to freak out and shit. They didn't do double. You know what I mean? It's like
And I think we also need to keep in mind of are people rushing their children out during this, again, it looks like we're heading back to pandemic times. Yeah.
Also, Lightyear's not doing good.
Well, no, AJ, don't count what Lightyear's doing now, because it's about to be on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Talk about what it did within its first two weeks.
Gotcha. That's
but it opening up at 23 million.
I'm not saying these quotes.
Opening up at 23 million is I don't understand why that's an issue. Again, if the projection started at 23,
you can't see the stars. Does that really count?
It depends on the budget.
Number one, it opened up number
one.
Wait,
hold on, time out, hold on. He said there's 2 stars in it. Like there's a 5-year-old going, "Oh shit, Kevin Hart!" No, it's made for children. They don't give a shit. Like the dog talks. That's all the kid knows. It's not made for us adults.
It's on the parents to take the kids to see the,
Right, exactly.
I did. I saw Super Pets this weekend. I was one of got my money.
There you go. You helped to get to 23.
I sure did.
But from what let's bring this up. But from what I'm guessing, Warner Brothers Discovery's brain is being fucked by stupid.
Can you elaborate on that?
I need to understand.
Fucked by stupid sounds right, at least at this point in time.
To me, I can't say that till I know at least, is this one of many? Or if this is just the only thing you cancel, that is fucked by stupid. Why is this the only thing you're trying to cancel? Everything else is a go? Just this? So that would be my issue. But if they're canceling everything just to reboot it all,
they cancel this.
Not stupid to me.
And Static, I have them there.
I mean, we gotta wait for the like we always say, what the
what is the fallout?
What's the actual plan?
And again, stop putting Static in here. It hasn't started anything yet, so it's not necessarily.
You can't cancel shit that ain't started yet.
It's just a concept that they wanted to do. It hasn't started yet.
They announced it 2 damn years ago. Okay.
Wait, what does that tell you? They haven't started nothing, Trayvon. They haven't started anything.
I'm mad. Okay.
No, we get it.
Maybe Static is part of the new regime's idea. Look, we got to push Static out.
Maybe
next year. Start next year.
Maybe.
Never know.
And then we all wake up, right?
I'm never going to.
Yeah, Jonathan. I don't know what geek movies maybe did to you, but this is you making this sound really personal.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on.
What was Thor: Love and Thunder's budget?
Hold on, I have that. It's 250. So far, it's made 665.
Yeah, that's good. What? Okay.
Again, it goes back to what I said before. If a superhero movie doesn't make
Leslie
a
Grace.
billion, everything is it's a failure, and it's like we got to stop doing that.
Yeah, I feel bad.
And
for those.
also, I've seen plenty of movies that didn't make money, but they were solid movies. It just wasn't something that was either marketed right, or people wanted to go out and see, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
But
that's
making
all.
money doesn't mean that it was a good movie. That's all I'm saying. That one doesn't necessarily have to lend to the other, right? So to me, I don't think anything's on a massive decline. I don't think Marvel just gave you 3 phases that we're not even in years of. They're not on a decline. If they can plan shit, if Feige said I planned out the next 10 years, clearly there's no decline, or Disney doesn't believe it.
The point is that when Marvel announces these things, I believe that.
Of
I
course.
believe we'll actually get
Even
it.
though I debate about what you believe.
That is
Wait,
the point.
hold on. No. I will
Yeah.
not allow you to
Yeah.
rewrite history,
Get 'em.
Trayvon.
Get 'em.
You are the
Get 'em,
main
Faith.
one talking about, is Shang-Chi 2 even going to happen?
Well,
Can we
I don't.
Can
Do
we
you see
get
him on
there?
the schedule? Do you see him on the schedule?
Is the
Okay,
schedule
fine.
done,
Okay,
Trayvon?
ask
Is
the
it
question.
done?
Yes or no? Yes
Is
or no?
it done? Is it done?
Was he announced?
Is it done?
I just said, was he announced?
Is it done?
That's all I said. Was he announced?
Was the mutants announced? You believe that's just never going to happen?
I mean,
Right, that's
I
just
don't know
garbage?
yet. I don't know. I mean, until I see it.
But you just said 5 seconds ago, I believe everything.
I
Marvel
believe
said.
everything they
What are you
announced.
saying?
Yes, everything announced. I believe. Yes.
God.
Wait, Miss Marvel
Oh.
was an A rating wise. What? I'm confused. Okay.
Well, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's okay.
It's
Jonathan,
fine, it's
Jonathan
fine,
can
it's
just
fine.
he can just
Jonathan, you have an agenda. We don't like it.
yeah, it's okay.
I
Jonathan,
think he just doesn't like comic movies.
He hates everything.
No.
It's a DC show.
it's okay.
Not seem to be a happy
Jonathan can
person.
just you can just
It's
talk.
okay.
I'm sorry that I don't know, where did it touch you? I'm sorry.
but again, I think we can all agree that DC does need to step up, and the time is now. The time is now. There is no waiting period. There is no, okay, we'll wait to see what you do. You got to start showing, right? And once you start showing, that's when people can get on board again. Me and Joel just finished having a phone call a few hours ago going, you know how much it hurts to be looking at DC and going, I just don't have faith in you. Like, I don't have any faith in you, bro. Like, none. Fucking none. At this point, I'm trusting the consistency of fucking Sony over DC right now.
That's sad.
Like,
That's
that
just
is sad,
He did a
right?
great job with Bullet
That's
Train.
sad.
Just saying.
Oh no! I don't mean Sony.
I
I
know,
don't
I
mean
know.
Sony as a full. I just mean whatever they're doing with the
The
Spideyverse.
Sony Spider-Man.
Yeah, this-
What is it?
The
The
Sony
Sony
Spidey-
universe of Spider-Man villains. What is it called? I
Yeah,
forgot.
it's
It's
Morbid
Morbid
Time. That's
Time,
what it's
baby.
called. That's what it's called. But yeah. So if I'm counting every year, Sony's gonna announce something, and God damn it, they're gonna do it. If I can say that, and I look at DC and I go, I don't know. Like, and you know what's even sadder? I've heard nothing about this fucking Green Lantern show that they were filming.
That's
I've heard
canceled.
nothing about that shit.
That's canceled.
That's probably been
I was
That
just
was
trying to
canceled
search
way
about.
before the movie
I
even
don't trust anything.
Flash
they
got
announced.
to it months ago.
I was just trying to search about that. And
Good.
I
That
literally
was
got
canceled
nothing.
2 years ago.
No,
DC
Didge, you know what's
slates are
funny,
not
Didge?
truthful.
You know what's
They're
funny?
allergic to Green
When you type in Green Lantern upcoming shows, they just go, "Do you mean the animated movie?" No,
Telling you,
show.
I searched
Do
Green
you
Lantern.
mean the animated movie? It's like, no, god damn it! Like,
I searched the Green Lantern and a dude popped up like, huh?
I'm like,
Where?
you mean John Diggle? No? Okay, yeah, we don't know what you mean then.
Oh, God. That's not
We don't know
what
what you
it
mean
is.
then. But no, so
John
I
Diggle
mean,
didn't either.
yeah, he didn't either.
John Diggle
What's a
Stewart.
Green Lantern?
John Diggle Stewart. Yeah.
John
Wait,
Diggle in the course
wait.
of 3 months said, I don't want this ring. Then said, I want this ring. Then opened it and said, nah, fuck what this means. And it's just like, I am so confused.
You know,
Like, like, I don't know what's
you
happening
got the
here.
stepdad. Do you know how like excited I got?
You?
The episode.
Do you know how excited the world got?
I about lost it. I said, yo, wait a minute.
No.
Well,
But-
we were all excited.
We were all excited, Trayvon. Because look, Trayvon, we
No,
remember
no,
back,
No
we remember
chaos.
back, Joel, we remember back seeing a bomber jacket and
Yeah.
thinking that was the craziest shit in the
And
world.
it said
Yes,
Jordan.
You're
yeah.
just like, oh, what? And then they were just like, "You'll never fucking get it. Shut up." Right? And then we were like, "Oh, well, fuck you then. Why'd you even do that?" What's the point?
Stairs air a lot on that show.
They sure
A
did.
lot.
Never.
I did want to say I don't want to keep us much longer. I think we've aired everything we possibly could for what happened today, what we think might happen tomorrow, right? The day after tomorrow, DC's living it out, right? They're living out that fucking what was it? The nature porn that fucking movie was? That's what DC's living out. It's the day after tomorrow, DC edition. But one thing I do want to get to before we get out of here, AJ, we're only a few days away from a project that you've been so passionate about. I thought you fucking wrote it. So would you like to tell us what we can expect for Sandman coming out this week?
Yes, so I will be teaming up with Jayla, doing a video. I'm not sure if it's going to be pre-recorded or live yet, but we are doing a video on that, talking about what you should be excited for about Sandman, all the characters, and all of that. So just keep a lookout for that. That'll be Thursday, yes. So there we go.
All right, make sure you guys check in, and please
we'll be
watch
watching
that
that.
show because I love Gwendolyn Christie. Okay,
I can't wait.
give Gwendolyn love is all I ask for. That's all I fucking
I
ask
want to
for.
see the endless. I want to see the. I don't know if we're getting all of them, but I want at least most of them.
And you know what? I you know what I'm looking forward to the most? Boyd Holbrook. I want people to start putting more respect on that motherfucker's name, okay? I want to see him in more shit. It doesn't even have to be superhero, just more shit. The man can act his ass off, bro. He really can. He was
He's
one of
definitely going to get a lot more stuff after that.
he should have got more shit after Logan. I thought he was
That is
amazing
true.
in
That is
Logan.
true.
I was like, how the fuck is he not somebody's leading man?
How
right
many
now?
episodes is this show gonna be?
There's going to be 11 episodes.
11.
11.
Ooh,
Shit.
ooh,
See,
ooh.
And
AJ
it's going
wrote
to
it.
be
He
the
knows.
first 2.5 volumes. So it'll be the first 2 volumes and then half of the third volume. That's what it's going to cover.
All right.
All right.
All at once, right? They're dropping all of it, right?
Huh?
They're dropping all 11, right?
It's dropping all
Yeah.
11 episodes.
Is it? I'm not sure if it's going to be all at once or not, but most likely.
It would be very interesting if they did it weekly. That'd be like
No, I didn't think
No, no,
weekly.
no.
Like, split in, like, I was
Stranger
split in
Things.
half or something.
They might do a Stranger Things.
Oh, I see
too.
what you're saying. Okay,
Or,
I get you.
uh,
I get you. Or Ozark.
Ozark,
Yeah.
I
Ozark.
hated the Stranger Things release.
That's annoying. 2 episodes, but that show's like
Right.
4 hours.
Yeah,
But
that is
still,
true.
it was like like, what are we doing here?
Hey, I will tell you though that wait did build up a lot of excitement for me. I was just like, well, you better fucking land it, and they did.
And they did.
landed that.
They did.
They
I'll give you that. They
did.
did. They did.
They
But
landed the fuck out
But
of it.
waiting for it.
the wait was like, I remember my dad when it came out. He texted me. He was like, "Stranger Things is a new season already? What the fuck?" And I was like, "No, this is still the same season.
Yeah.
He just released the last 2 episodes."
It's funny you say that because my grandfather, I told him, I said, all right, well, the final season won't be till 2024, and he goes, wait a minute, they haven't been filming already to drop it next year?
My dad definitely said that too. He was like, "Oh yeah,
No.
so
No, sorry, she's got Enola Holmes to do. She ain't got time to do this shit back to back. She got Enola Holmes to do.
they just started writing it." I saw the whole tweet.
Yeah,
about,
right.
It's writing day. I don't care about this. You should have been filming this. Don't tell me it's writing day.
Tell us when it's releasing. I don't give a fuck about even when you film it. Tell me when it's dropping. But again, I want to thank Will. I want to thank AJ. I want to thank Trayvon. I want to thank Joel. AJ, I really cannot wait till you get a House of Dragons so you can change that name. I cannot wait till you get that fucking show, bro.
Look,
Um,
I need it early. I need it early so I can just watch it. Okay.
I don't really know of many people that get Game of Thrones
I
screeners.
know.
I really don't.
I know some people already watched the first episode already.
Sunday.
Now, was this one of those screeners where they everyone did the red carpet to watch it together, or
I think so. Yeah.
they got because I'm I don't think they send it to people.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has too many things they don't want spoiled, so
And
no
they had
fucking
too
way
much,
they send
they
it.
had
out
too
to
much
people
bad history with spoiled.
That
Yeah,
is
they
also
did.
true.
True.
Yeah, that is
The
also
most pirated show, right?
Yeah.
true. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
It's
that's
the
for
most
damn sure.
pirated show and the most viewed show. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't
Shout out
matter.
to Oracle. Oracle's they don't send Game of Thrones screeners. They damn sure don't. There was a while where they weren't sending Star Wars screeners. The day we got Bad Batch, I was just like, what? And then they were I was like, can I get it for Kenobi? It's like, oh,
What about Lord of the Rings? So that's
Like,
also my most anticipated.
you're not
too.
consistent. I don't
Lord
think
of
they do it
Rings,
for Lord of the Rings either.
House of Dragon,
Yeah, I don't think so.
and The Sandman.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
much
they're very
that.
personal to AJ. They're just like, whatever you want to see early, no, we don't get that shit. But again, I want to thank Will, AJ, Didge, Trayvon, and Joel. Trayvon, I'm glad you made it. You went to go see Bullet Train. He was very upset. It was starting late.
What?
And he was like, I won't make it on there to spew my chaos. But you did. You did. You used your
Stayed at
chaos
home,
magic.
I'm coming, Ben.
Look,
I mean,
the
I'm
movie's
coming.
supposed to start at 7. They didn't start. I was like, okay, so they're skipping the trailers. No, they started at 7:24 and still did the damn trailer. And still put in the Nicole Kidman video they always do at AMC. God damn it. I was like, are you serious? Like, play the damn movie.
I will say
Get out of here.
AMC did carve a lot of hate for me for Nicole Kidman. Like every
Like,
time I see her, I'm just like, I hate you.
They play that shit faithfully. Like they pay her a good man. Listen, we gonna play this shit.
Oh wait, really funny story as we get out of here. You thought that was bad, Trayvon. Me and Joel went to go see a screener of King Arthur, right? They took forever to start, and then when they started, they were playing the movie with the fucking lights on. Like, and we were just like,
Yeah.
we
They
can't
didn't
see
rewind it
shit.
either. They just
They
turned the
didn't.
lights off.
Yeah,
Nothing
they
to
were
see
just like-
here. Just keep watching.
And then, when it was over, they were just like, "Please tell people this was good. Here's some swag to take with you." We were like, "No, we will not tell people." It
Oh, no,
was
you
good."
like
What movie had that Christopher Nolan trailer thing that was like a surprise? What was it? It was like
Tenet.
the movie was-
Oh,
Tenet.
No, recently, like
Oppenheimer.
yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
surprise trailer. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, that's for IMAX only.
Did
I
you
like
like
that
it?
shit.
Did you like Oppenheimer?
That makes sense.
I was like, what the
That
fuck?
makes sense. Trayvon doesn't like anything good.
Okay,
I
we're
like
getting
Chris
out of here
Nolan,
on that
so,
note. We're
yeah,
getting
that's
out of
fine.
here on this note. We're getting out of here on that note.
He's-
Like I said, thank you to Trayvon, Joel, Didge, AJ, Will, and our Oracle behind the boards. We appreciate you, Oracle. You did your damn thing today. The banners at the bottom were like the fucking highlight of the
Yes.
episode. It's just fucking brilliant. It's just pure brilliance. Goodness gracious. Every day I talk to Mike, he makes me cry. I'm like, this man is just fucking genius. Just a fucking genius. So we appreciate you, man. What'd you say, Joel?
I read Digis shit.
Oh. I'm like, what? But all right, guys, we appreciate you. Make sure you guys stay tuned for AJ's video or if he goes live. And also make sure you stay tuned for Thursday. They will also be doing. We appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You added a
Ryan.
lot. You added a lot. We appreciate you. The last scare is Thursday. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Also,
Is it the last scare or is there more to come?
both.
Okay.
It's both, right? It's
It's
both.
the last scare they experienced. There you go.
Yeah, it's the mystery.
It's the last scare of the
mystery.
week.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I know Jayla's at home like, don't fuck up my promo, Jawan. But no. Blake, Sabrina, and Jayla, we love you guys and what you do with the last scare. Also, as we said before, check out Cena Nerd, guys. We'll have that in our description. Please follow them on all the socials. But until next time, guys, try to find something good to say about DC. All right? And hug your neighbor.
The
That's really
animation is
all I
great.
can give.
Ben Affleck is back.
That's really
Ben Affleck is back.
no.
DC animation.
Oracle, end it. Oracle, end it. End
Ben
it on
Affleck
that.
is
The
back.
animation is great.
End it on